all the fun of a summer gaming event and brought it online, giving you a front row seat for all the biggest new announcements, trailers, gameplay reveals, and demos without having to leave the house. And while there's plenty of summer left, IGN Summer of Gaming is coming to an end, but not without a proper send-off. Today, join us for more looks at brand new games, including Madden NFL 21 and an exclusive look at Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Then, later on, the first ever IGN Summer of Gaming Awards ceremony, when we celebrate our favorite game reveals, trailers, and demos from the last month of coverage. And then, it's time to party. We've got an exclusive gameplay demo from Fuser, the upcoming music festival DJ rhythm game, followed by an hour-long live DJ set from Galantis. So kick back, relax, and get ready because it all starts now.
Hey folks, Mark Medina here, and welcome back to IGN Summer of Gaming. All summer long, we've been bringing you the latest news on brand new games, world premiere trailers, next-gen console news, and never-before-seen gameplay from big names like Sony, CD Projekt Red, and more. Today, we got our IGN Summer of Gaming Awards show at 3 p.m. Pacific and our awesome after party with a live DJ set by Galantis at 4. Click the link in the video description for a chance to join our VIP Zoom party. You can catch it all wherever you stream IGN or live on your Samsung TV Plus by tuning into channel IGN1. And you can get the bonus Summer of Gaming content by downloading the TikTok app, following IGN, and searching for our Summer of Gaming hashtag. But right now, we're back with the final charity live stream. I really can't believe it. All summer long, IGN is asking you to give to the Bail Project and the World Health Organization by following the links in the video description or by heading over to donate.ign.com. The Bail Project provides bail for families in need, and the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Response Fund is dedicated to studying, treating, and combating the disease. By donating, you'll have a chance to win IGN gift cards, game codes, or swag from companies like Bethesda, Sony, and id Software. Donors who give more than $50 will have a chance to win a custom Summer of Gaming Xbox One X. Okay, it is time for our final charity speedrun. For the last time, I am joined by my trusty guest host, Jay Hobbs from GDQ. How's it going, buddy? We're back.
I'm doing great. Yeah, well, that's fine. We can look at the...
There's the
there we go.
Okay.
It's all good. Hey, I'm
What's
doing
up,
great.
man?
Thanks for having me on again.
Jay Hobbs, I forgot to count, but this has got to be like our 8th or 9th one of these, and it's been a journey.
It's been fun. I'm looking forward to that exclusive look at Kena later. That was one of the ones from the Sony conference that was kind of catching my eye. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm looking forward to the speedrun even more, of course. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here.
If I can say the thing I'm most excited for, I'm really excited for the Fallout 76 interview that'll be happening later. Whoever did that interview is incredibly handsome. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. Yeah. Anyways, yes, as always, we are not alone. We also have our speedrunner, and this time it's Resident Evil again with Hazeblade. Hazeblade, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Great to be here.
Dude, so good to have you. Me and Hazeblade have actually worked together quite a bit. He's been all over IGN. I'm
almost alumni at this point.
Hazeblade, what are you playing today? What's the rules? How long is it going to take you? All that jazz.
Yeah, so the game's going to be Resident Evil 3 Remake, and we're going to be playing on standard difficulty. We are going to be using the classic costumes. So for those of you RE3 Classic fans, you guys are going to have something special today. And rules are pretty much straightforward. Beat the game, don't use any New Game Plus stuff. So we won't be able to use Rocket Launcher, we won't be using the Samurai Edge. You'll actually find, I'll show you in the part of the run, when we get to Carlos' section, one of you guys might have to remind me. But there's going to be some stuff laying in the RPD. We can't pick that stuff up. That's cheating. So we're not going to pick up any of that stuff. So, yep, that's pretty much what we're doing. So,
all right. Well, on you. We can get this. We can get this thing going.
All righty. So again, it will be standard. The timer will start after we skip. I think there's like 2 or 3 cutscenes. Basically, once we're in first-person view, that's when the timer starts.
Sounds good.
So here we go.
We just got our countdown, man. We got to just beat the clock. That's what we're doing here.
Even better. All right. Well, the time starts right now.
There we go.
With this game, For some reason, they wanted to start you off in first person. It must just be a throwback to RE7, which we saw Morphoria run the other day, right? So they just wanted to remind you that if you guys missed Morphoria's run, you got to go check it out. It was a great run. It was a lot of fun to watch.
It was super fun.
That was like one of our longer ones. It was super fun though.
And yet, I think that was
flew by.
The run where the time flew by the most. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I remember she was like, and that's it. That's time. And we're like, oh, okay.
So Jill has this classic 90s phone call here with Brad, but we're going to skip all that because we don't have time for that.
Look at that phone.
I can't believe that's great.
I haven't used a phone like that in a good while.
Does that phone look like that because you're using the classic skin, or is it always like that? They're just like, no. People have
the game is set in 1998, so they have made everything like, as far as attention to detail goes, everything in this game looks as if it was in the 90s, except for like when you get to the nest later, which none of that looks like the 90s at all. But when you're out in the city, yeah, it actually does. They do a great job in this game of actually making it really look and feel like you're in the 90s.
Okay, good.
Especially with the gas prices when you see the gas sign later. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of the 90s, I just watched everybody's favorite movie, Jurassic Park. When did that movie come out? That's 90s, right?
I think so.
I believe so. I don't remember exactly what year.
I don't know.
1993, June 11th, 1993.
Very nice, very nice. So.
Yes.
Basically, that phone call was from our friend Brad right here. And he basically, before he had a chance to tell us what was about to happen, Nemesis bust through the wall and started attacking us. And unfortunately, we lost our handgun on the way down the stairs. So basically, he attacked us. We lost our handgun on the way down. And so we don't have anything right now. It's just us. We just took a beating from Nemesis. Oh, yeah, exactly. Of course. So now we're just trying to get away and... hopefully not get wrecked in the process.
All right. So yeah, guys, this is our last charity speedrun. It feels weird, but this is the last time. And now you can donate throughout the day, but this is the last time that I get to bug everybody about donations. So just real quick, if I can have the floor for like a minute here, we set a goal last stream that I would watch Jurassic Park for the first time if we hit a certain dollar amount, and we did. And I live tweeted it. You can go on Twitter using the hashtag JurassicMark2020, and you can see all my thoughts. But I refuse to give my actual thoughts on the movie until the live stream here. And so I will now sum up my thoughts in just a few sentences. I thought the movie was fine. I think I would have liked it better if I had watched it as a kid. I thought it was pretty funny. And I also thought it was a tad boring at some parts.
But do you now understand Clever Girl? That's the important
also
part.
Jeff Goldblum, man, he's sexy, man. Why was he laying like that for so long? We watched it and it's like a half an hour later in the movie and he's still just perched up shirtless. Why is this going on for so long? It was very good. But we have new donation incentives today. Hazeblade has a little surprise for everybody. If we hit 36,000 on the stream, we're gonna get a real shock to everybody's systems. I can't wait.
If this car looks familiar, by the way, it's because Morphoria drove it into the Baker estate just a few days ago. They reused the same. Yeah, they reused the same car.
That's great.
Yeah, it's the same car from RE7.
Speaking of Resident Evil 7, segue, we just got our first donation from Morphoria.
Oh, snap.
Who says, GG's IGN on all these charity speedruns, requesting Mark to watch and live tweet the Resident Evil Apocalypse film to see how he feels about Nemi. Which one's Apocalypse?
The Apocalypse is the second film in the live action series, and it's kind of a spin-off of RE3 from a live action standpoint. So you have Carlos and Jill and Nemesis, and it takes place in the streets of Raccoon City. Very different plot, though.
I've actually seen that one. I've seen almost all the Resident Evil movies except for maybe the last one.
Gotcha.
I think they're actually totally fine movies. I remember liking the first one a lot.
I don't think.
I thought the first few were okay, but unfortunately, the further you went down into the live action movies, it did seem like the the quality started to degrade and the plot started to degrade over time. But I mean, they're great movies. I actually like the CGI films. The CGIs are really, really nice. And it actually follows the main storyline as well. By the way, for those of you guys that are curious, as far as the speedrun goes, there's kind of a meme in the speedrun community because the radio cutscenes are skippable. So I'll explain it very quickly. I will be skipping the radio cutscenes today since we're doing marathon strats. However, the reason we don't skip the radio cutscenes is because it actually pauses the in-game timer while the radio is going. So if you're going for a record, oh no, bad zombie.
Is that supposed to happen, Hazeblade? No. Is he supposed to eat your neck like that?
Nope, that doesn't happen often.
Hazeblade, I'm being told by my producer overlords that nobody can hear the game. Now, I don't want that to completely ruin your life. I'm just letting you know. Hey, chat, can you guys hear the game? I'm looking at YouTube and I'm looking at Twitch. No one said anything about it, but yeah, I don't know. I see somebody said that Jeff Goldblum is a babe. I would agree. You know what's funny is after Jurassic Park, I would say that Jeff Goldblum was probably my favorite character in that movie. I don't know if that's like a thing.
I think that's pretty common.
Is it pretty common? Okay, yeah. I mean, Jeff was actually my favorite character in that movie. He was really, really funny. He's getting a lot of no's in the chat. They cannot hear the sound.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure how we would fix that. I have audio. I can explain that much.
Well, guys, we're gonna have to just make the sound effects.
I mean, I can. What I can do though is, I mean, I can change it to black and white, and we can do like silent horror. You know, we could do that. But that's probably about as close as we're gonna get.
There we go.
Here, I'll provide some Foley while we navigate through the streets of Raccoon City. This zombie's gonna go. And yeah, it's great.
I did want to ask, it looks like every time you're going upstairs you're kind of like aiming down sights for a second or something, or what's going on there?
Yeah, so it's a technique called stair skating, which you having worked for GDQ, of course, we've seen the RE2 remake a couple times at GDQ, and it's the same concept. Basically, you're aiming while you're going up the stairs and it skips an animation that slows your movement speed. So we get to move extra fast on the stairs. So fast that, watch this. Here's Nikolai, and he's gone. He literally just despawned right in front of you. It's great.
That was amazing.
We're so fast. It's like lightning. And we're going to dodge. Oh, gosh. Okay, that dog was not very nice. There's another thing that we are doing as well. That was very close. We're also in caution right now, which means we get a little bit of a movement speed increase in caution as well. Also like an RE2 remake. However, down from about, it was about 6% before. Unfortunately, Jill only moves about 3% faster in caution. So it's not as big of a benefit. But you'll also notice that I'm doing this super sweet roll maneuver. This is called the perfect dodge. And essentially what it allows me to do is when a zombie lunges at me, I don't have to take the damage. And one thing you'll also notice that what I do before I dodge is I'll also do that stair skate little aim down sight thing. And that actually gives you more frames to time the perfect dodge. It's another small glitch that we discovered relatively early on in mapping the speedrun for this game. So
that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of little things with movement in this game, and we're actually still learning more and more about movement every single day, it seems, in this game, because the way the dodge mechanic works is you actually will, a lot of times, you'll time the dodge, and you'll do it in a way that allows you to chain multiple dodges together. So when you're interacting with things, you can, a lot of times, you'll actually see it a lot in this section, you can actually time doing multiple dodges in a row to get a little bit of a movement speed bonus as you're coming up to interactable things. So ladders, these little power switches, which you're about to see right here, we're going to dodge into them, which is going to give us a bonus. And hopefully, no, that's like the worst thing that can happen. No.
Hey, Hazeblade, was that supposed to happen? Was he supposed
to
it wasn't. Stab you there? Oh, okay.
This is actually, it's going to be risky.
You could have said yes.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use a green herb, which will mitigate the little poison effect that we encountered with the drain demos in this section. We're also going to pick up some handgun ammo here too, just so that way we've got enough. This is actually the only handgun ammo in the entire game that we pick up.
On purpose. Speaking of picking things up, guys, I promise at $36,000, it's worth it. So let's pick up some donations. We need to get the $5 train going.
Watch your profanity.
So we're gonna have some drain demos coming through this section. We're gonna shoot that one because he's in our way. We don't have time for that. Oh, hello. Oh, nice. That was a really close dodge.
Are these enemy spawns set and their behaviors are just random, or are they?
This is the. Oh gosh, I'm actually in danger here. This is rough. This is actually probably the most random section in the entire game.
Okay.
So the actual timing and AI behaviors of the drain demos in this section are completely random. Now, the good news is once you turn all of the switches, a lot of them will actually run away, as you can see these two right here. And there is a green herb right outside of the power station. So as long as we make it through, we're good. Perfect. So now we're back in caution. That is the most RNG section in the entire run. It's terrible.
Well, good to be past it.
We made it. Yes, very, very good. So we're going to skip this radio sequence, as I mentioned before. Since we're doing marathon strats, we are going to go ahead and skip that since it's faster RTA. When we first discovered that it stopped,
I know what RTA means, but we've had a lot of speedrunners say those words. Like what exactly is RTA?
So RTA stands for real-time attack. The simplest way to describe it is RTA just means real-time. IGT means in-game time. And so in-game timers typically are set to start and stop at various sections of the game. So with this specific game, we use in-game time for tracking world records and PBs. But for marathons, a lot of times we use RTA. Specifically, J-Hobbs is very familiar with this, of course. That GDQ is almost all RTA as far as tracking estimates and stuff. So that is... and every game is kind of different, too. Some games have some really jacked up in-game timers. So sometimes it's better to just use RTA. So
yeah, it's hard to plan a schedule around not real time.
We're getting the worst RNG in this section, by the way. So Nemesis can spawn in 3 different places in this section. And if he spawns in the last spot, which is the one that we just got, that's the worst RNG because you have to outrun him while also not getting bit by those 2 zombies, which we executed that perfectly. That is as good as that could have went.
Perfect.
We cannot actually skip anything with this puzzle, unfortunately, so we have to wait through the dialogue.
Is the answer always the same every time, though? So you just...
Yes, this one's actually super easy. It's 3, 5, 2 for the first column, and then you actually start at the bottom of the second column, and it's 2, 3, 2.
Just one of those.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, just one of those things you get to memorize and execute on.
Okay, I got whipped by a parasite zombie, but that's okay. We're still in caution. That's all that matters. And we just have to hope we don't die.
So you keep saying that, like, still in caution or in danger and stuff. I assume that's basically a health mechanic, like how low on health you kind of are.
Correct, yeah. So you'll notice she's kind of holding her hip there. Yeah. That's an indication, a visual indication that she is in caution. We're going to try to get by this zombie without getting bit. Perfect, thank you. And we've got 2 pretty... Oh, gosh. Oh, he never does that. So you'll notice that I was actually looking down at the gate. That's actually supposed to prevent Nemesis from ending up in front of me, but somehow he still was able to do it. But that's okay. We're actually coming up on 2 pieces of health here in just a second.
You're Jill there. She's looking a little rough.
So close.
That was good.
That was so close. So there's actually a green herb right here. So we're going to be back in caution, and there's a first aid spray in the next room.
It wouldn't be a marathon type run if it didn't. If you didn't have some stuff that never happens.
Exactly. So the first aid spray is right here. Because I'm picking up this first aid spray, though, I am actually going to do a safe strat in this room that I wasn't initially going to do. Oh my gosh, he is just mean today, dude.
Ooh.
That's all right. We have an autosave right here. So
that was supposed to happen, guys.
Yeah. That's an intentional death.
This is for the speed run. This is to, 30 minutes from now, there's a loading that would happen. That
people don't normally see it because it hurts you in game time, but it's actually faster RTA.
Yes. So we shoot that electrical panel there. That's the safe strat, but you can actually YOLO this room, and it comes down to about a half a second where you'll make it through this gate before the bad things happen. But since we were already in pretty rough shape in terms of health, I wanted to just play it safe there.
Makes sense.
It looks like a few people missed the explanation of what of what marathon meant. Marathon RTA. If you want to give another quick explanation of what that means.
I can hop in on this one. So basically, we talk about marathon runs because there's a lot of speedrunning marathons that happen where you do lots of different speedruns back to back. And in order to put those speedruns together in a way where everybody kind of has an idea of when their run is, you have to look at real time, even though some games use in-game time. And so it's tradition that when you're kind of doing a full no reset run, you're just going from start to finish for a showcase, you're looking at the real time, the best way that you can get the fastest real time, even if the leaderboards kind of compare that game by the in-game timer. And RTA stands for real time attack.
So I need a little bit of quiet here because I'm trying not to get wrecked. Perfect. These guys are a one-hit kill. Ooh. So this entire section is a YOLO. For example. That's why we grabbed that first aid spray, though. That's what keeps this section safe.
Did you make it? Are we safe?
I did. For now. We're not done quite yet. There are actually 5 encounters with the Hunter Gammas in this section. And we've gotten through 2 of them. Now, this next one is free as long as you time it properly. These corners in the sewers are kind of your milestones. So right before you hit this corner, you're going to do 2 dodges, which I didn't get this one. That's cool. But we still got the perfect dodge, and we still made it through. We're good.
Oh, man.
Of course, as I'm explaining it, the game decides to give me a bad placement. But
yeah, man, you got to stop saying what's about to happen and then doing it and then that not happen.
Yes. We'll explain it after I perform it properly. How about that?
Yeah, and then alter it. If it didn't go right, just explain that.
I'll just make something up. That sounds like that was how it was supposed to go, right?
Nobody knows.
So we have another one here, which we actually encountered this one twice. We can aim around this corner and skip getting staggered. All right, so now we're going to take the battery pack that we just deposited. We're going to quick turn around. We're going to go through this door. And you can hear him trying to bite us from behind, but as long as you don't see him in like the peripheral part of your screen, then he won't hit you. So we're good.
Sounds good.
We didn't get swallowed. That was the one thing I was worried about. So as long as we didn't get swallowed, this I would say is a successful section.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that one hit comment? Is that a one hit kill due to the difficulty you're playing on, due to the health you were at, or is that just always how that goes?
It is always a one hit kill.
Okay.
That entire section. Fortunately, we actually learned that we could YOLO these guys within the first week of speedruns. So a lot of us have had a ton of practice in that section. So fortunately, it's actually a pretty safe section if you just know how to time it properly.
Okay.
The only thing that's not fun is if you die, the autosave is a long time before that. Ooh. It's like 2 minutes. So it's pretty bad.
Would now be a good time for donations, or just let me know when the next time?
You've probably got about 45 seconds or so.
That's all I need. Guys, don't forget, all summer gaming long, IGN is asking you to donate to worthy causes by following the links in the description of this video or by heading to donate.ign.com. A whole bunch of other stuff. You could win swag, $50 or more. You get a chance to win a custom Xbox One X. Also, guys, if we hit 36K, we get a new pop-up on the stream, but then Hazeblade is going to do something that, I'm not sure it's legal.
A special surprise from yours truly if we hit 36K.
It's going to be amazing, guys. We got $5 from Dandy Mandy Candy, who says $5 hog train, chugga chugga chugga. Right now, she's just a lone engine going by herself. She has no cars.
We got to get those $5 in, everybody. Like, you'd be surprised just how quickly, even if you're sitting there thinking like, oh well, I can't donate $100, can't donate $1,000, whatever. What is my donation going to make a difference? It adds up so fast, really. Like,
right, we've got a boss fight coming up here.
Everybody donates a little bit. It helps a lot.
This is probably, I'd say, tied for the easiest boss fight right here. We're going to shoot 3 times, and we're going to start strafing, throw a grenade. We're going to let him take a step forward. He's going to blow up. We're going to grab these shotgun shells because we actually need these later. And we're going to watch his boot right here. He's going to do a little squiggly thingy with his boot here in a second, and then we're going to throw the grenade. Right there. And he's dead.
Nice.
Rip.
I'm sure.
All right.
I'm sure he's dead and gone forever.
All right. You were saying. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was wrapped up. I was just saying, like, even $1, $5 donations, they help a lot. Everybody.
Yep.
Perfect.
And I will read every single one of them. Hazeblade, I have to ask you, can you do any impressions?
This is Mark's thing, dude. He always wants us to do impressions on this when we get donations.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I do believe that the voice of Solid Snake made an appearance on IGN Expo just a few weeks ago.
Did it?
So with that being said, I think David Hayter is pretty good.
There you go. Give that one for free. The rest everyone's got to donate for.
Yep, that was a preview. If you guys donate with things for us to say, he can do Solid Snake. I can do anybody in the universe.
Yes.
Ooh,
yeah, Mark will do anyone. And I will do an impression of somebody who's really into speedruns. I'm not good.
J Hobbs is just going to do an impression of me. It's going to be great.
I'm going to show you guys real quick some interesting movement tech in this game. And this was actually one of the reasons why we say we're still learning new things about movement every day. So watch this right here. So normally you can only do 3 dodges in a row. But you'll notice right here, I just did 4 dodges in a row.
Are you
and a
cheating?
lot of it, I mean, I wouldn't say cheating per se. I mean, it's a minor glitch, you know. And a lot of that, let's dodge that rocket and not get hit by that. And a lot of it has to do with different interactable, or rather different, that zombie just got wrecked, by the way. A lot of it has to do with, you can take advantage of that glitch. Oh, I got hit by the rocket, dang it.
Oh, no.
You can take advantage of that glitch specifically by changing weapons or getting a perfect dodge in the middle of a series of dodges.
Watch your profanity.
Okay. Interesting. I was like,
So
I was trying to guess it in my head. I was like, did it have to do with the fact that you went through a door or down some stairs or something? No.
Yeah, so that roll that I did to dodge the parasite zombie there is how I was able to take advantage of it. But you can also change weapons while you're doing it too, and it'll allow you to chain them together. Okay. So there were theories that we thought we could move faster by just chaining that throughout the entire game, but it's very situational, and it's not really consistent across the entire game. So.
Okay.
And it sounds miserable.
My follow-up question was going to be, so why don't you just roll and change weapons every 3rd roll or whatever?
Well, it's really funny you say that because there's actually games where you do that. I was actually interested in learning the Fable speedrun, and that game is like 90% rolling and 10% everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'd be into this game because I feel like I would get dizzy or something having to like constantly roll.
Dude, I speedrun Kingdom Hearts. That's just dodge roll city like all day.
Yeah.
I started to attempt to learn Mario Odyssey when it first came out. Oh. And then when I realized that the most optimal way to move around is like shake the controller and roll everywhere, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. That's not going to be a thing.
Well, it's interesting because my first ever speed game, I should say I tried to speedrun Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, but it never really worked for me. Like, I'm a good Dark Souls player, but I'm not a good Dark Souls speedrunner. And so my first actual speed game was the RE1 remake. And I actually injured my wrists in that game because with stair skating, you have to mash the sprint button just over and over and over. And the faster you mash, the faster you move on stairs. And so I actually ended up developing carpal tunnel from it. And I had to stop speedrunning the game. But recently they have allowed for certain categories, you can actually bind the stair skate to the analog stick. And it's a super accessible way that we've been able to bring a lot of runners back to that game.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Accessibility is always great.
Yeah.
Poor Hazeblade.
Yeah, it's crazy just looking.
Pro, guys. He got an injury on the job.
Yep, killed my speedrunning career. It's actually funny because it's not as bad with RE2 or RE3 because there's not as much mashing. You will see that sometimes you might actually hear my keyboard, like super loud clacking sounds from my keyboard. That is a technique that we call double and triple inputting. And the idea is that you can bind up to 3 keys to the same input in this game. So whenever you're interacting with things, you can actually grab things a couple of frames earlier. And man, I didn't get the timing there. I would have gotten a 2-second time save had he bit me out.
Eating better.
Also, we're supposed to remind you not to pick things up while you're Carlos here, I think.
Right? Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. By the way, I'll show you guys. So we mentioned
doing their job.
The rules of New Game Plus. These are these 2 pouches here that give me a ton of inventory space. I can't pick those up, otherwise that's cheating.
Oh dang.
And wait, why? Is just because you beat the game already, or?
Yeah, when you
Because
buy
that's
them in the
something that wouldn't
shop,
be there.
when you buy them in the shop, they actually don't start out in your inventory. You have to actually pick them up.
Got it.
Which is actually nice for speedrunning because it means you don't have to make a brand new account just to speedrun the game. So
Yeah, that's true.
That is good.
So lots of
we got
like
a little
shooting.
bit of menu coming up, but sorry, go
You're
ahead.
doing a lot of shooting the walls there back where that zombie wasn't also inside. Is that just kind of messing around while you had to wait on things, or were you trying to line something up?
So there is a system in this game called difficulty adjustment or dynamic difficulty. There's a lot of different terminology for it, but basically when I miss all those shots, the difficulty goes down. So
Nice.
hopefully that will make boss fights and stuff like that a little bit easier. But there is also a hard DA reset that happens if you're below a certain threshold. So if you try to cheese it too much, the game will be like, hey, you can't do that, and then automatically force your DA up. But you can exploit it a little bit, and you can end up doing some pretty cool things with it.
That's pretty
And
neat.
Inferno difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty in the game, you actually have a pretty major thing that you do that results in not basically playing on Inferno difficulty for the rest of the game.
Wow. I had never heard of like a speedrun abusing dynamic difficulty. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's dynamic difficulties have actually been around for quite a while. I believe the first game in the RE franchise to do it was RE4.
Interesting.
But it has evolved kind of over the years. And fortunately on PC, we actually now have ways to tap into the RAM on your system and read exactly what the value is. I'm going to see if there's a green herb in this. There is. Perfect. Sometimes the crates in this game actually have random items in them. So sometimes you can get ammo, sometimes you can get health. But we got health, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be doing...
Would now be a good time to read some donations? Or let me know when the next time is.
Not quite yet. We have quite a few tricky sections coming up here. Although these, with the exception of the liquor, are all stunned here, getting back is a little bit tricky. So,
well, then get your donations in now, guys, because I will read them all, every single one. Now is the time.
Gotta do it now so we get a whole flurry of them when it's time to read.
That's
these
right.
zombies are going to activate shortly. So is this liquor, which unfortunately I was not able to get a perfect punch on him, but that is okay. There is another green herb up here, and I am about to perform what is called YOLO Horde or YOLO Carlos. This coin was, or this term was coined in RE3 Classic, but they have brought back the YOLO Carlos action into RE3 Remake, and we are about to run through an entire hallway filled of zombies and hope we don't get bit. Which we got bit.
Immediately. Well, at least they...
What you get for hoping.
At least they
but believe it or not, it is actually possible to make it through this entire room without getting hit by these zombies.
Is it possible to make it through that entire room getting bit by every zombie?
Yeah, of course it is. Now is a great time for donations. We have about a minute or so.
Okay, great. We only got 2 right now, guys. We need to get them in. I will read every single one. It'll be a really good time. Remember, at 36K, Hazeblade is going to get real silly, and we'll unlock a new pop-up. So go to donate.ign.com or click on one of the links in the description below. You get a chance to win swag, game codes for every donation, or $50 or more. You have a chance to win the beautiful IGN Summer of Gaming Xbox One X. I don't know if we can show that on the screen. I don't know if we have that queued up. Possibly not. That's fine. Anyways, I will read the donations here. There it is. Hazeblade, go ahead and do your splice now that you're wanting to do. Go ahead and load up your game now that this is full screen. Anyways, there's the Xbox. All right, so here are the donations. We got $2 from Savannah Wild. He says, great to see my favorite streamer on IGN. Oh, Jay Hobbs, that's awesome.
I know, dude. It's great.
Good luck, Hazeblade. Oh, sorry. Never mind. Praying for no memes.
Yeah, we're hoping for no memes because I accidentally reloaded the shotgun. I definitely wasn't supposed to do that. So,
and then we got $5 from everybody's favorite donator. He said, sorry I'm late. Did you guys see that giant man bear pig? We sure did.
Yeah,
we sure did.
Definitely. There's another one right there.
He's everywhere.
He's around here we go. Nemi 2, one of the hardest bosses in the game. Here we go. So I am going to have to do a slightly different strategy here because I fired off, or I accidentally reloaded the shotgun because I'm a silly person. And I got hit too. So
Is he supposed to be like just destroying you right there on the ground? Like, is that supposed to be
no,
happening?
normally I would actually have already triggered the next phase. But instead, we're going to unload into him a little bit more because I actually need to not waste grenade rounds here. So hang on just a second. Let me rectify my error here real quick. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to switch over, and I need to grab these shotgun shells. Now, fortunately, I have already reloaded the shotgun. So now we're going to just unload on this dude. A little bit of a more unorthodox strat, but we're going to be okay. So I'm going to reload the shotgun. We're going to go ahead and switch to the grenade launcher. That's going to stun him temporarily for us to unload on him again. He's going to throw a little temper tantrum. We're going to reload the shotgun again. We're going to shoot another flame round at him. Unload on the shotgun a little bit more. This is a slightly different strat than you would normally do. We're going to preemptively shoot the grenade launcher there because it'll actually set him on fire after the fact, which gives us a little bit more, and there's the kill.
Wow, nice.
So that was a really clutch way to get the kill. Normally, you would actually basically trigger phase 2 right away, but unfortunately, I missed the shot.
So how does reloading the shotgun early actually kind of affect that strat in a negative way?
You're essentially timing your reloads with periods of downtime during the fight. So by the time he's ready to get up and start attacking you again, you've already got the grenade launcher trained back on him to stun him again. So it's a bit of a process to figure out exactly what the timing is. We are going to be coming back through this later, so I'm going to make sure she is extra dead. And yeah, so a lot of it just comes down to timing when he's actively attacking you and using the grenade launcher to put him back in a position where he's staggered.
So are you not able to just reload whenever you want? It's only when you run out of ammo or something?
Well, the other problem is when you reload, you can't dodge. So
okay.
you can't use that perfect dodge mechanic when you're reloading. So you want to make sure that you're careful about when you reload, because if he does get up early, or if you critically hit him while he's down, he actually will get up early if you do that. So it's very, very important that you're prepared for the worst case scenario. Otherwise, you're going to be in pretty rough shape.
Gotcha.
So now we
let me
are.
know when the next good time for donations is.
Here, just a second. I'll catch everyone up
fine.
on the lore, and then we'll be good for donations, because this section is pretty downtime for the most part. But as far as the lore goes, after defeating Nemi 2, Jill gets infected with the T virus, which is basically what causes everybody to turn into zombies. So Carlos finds her basically incapacitated, so he gets her to this hospital, and he is trying desperately to find a cure for her. So that's pretty much where we're at in the lore. Okay. But go ahead. Donation time.
Donation time. All right, here we go. The $5 train has left the station, but there are still more cars that can be added to it. So we can keep that going. So another from Dandy Mandy Candy, another $5 who says choo choo. That's a lot of zeros. And then we got one from Marforia. She's back. $5 who says, keep this train going. Choo choo. Let's hear someone's best Christopher Walken impression. Why Christopher Walken?
Mark's got a great Christopher Walken doing Dracula.
So you'll notice right there, I did a camera thing where I looked up. You'll actually see that a few times in this section, because hunters behave very much like lickers do in RE2 Remake, where when you're not looking at them, they have literally no idea what they're supposed to be doing. It's like preparing for a play, and you're like, in a play, and you go on stage and then you forget your lines. That's like basically what's happening with these hunters right now. Now we're going to do that in this room too, but we're going to use a flash grenade for safety. So we're going to look up, hopefully not get wrecked. All right, we got wrecked. So we're going to throw the flash grenade just to be safe. But we are going to look up on the way out, which hopefully... All right, we still got hit one more time, but we're good. Just like that. Perfect. Yeah, this game has some really interesting sections.
Which of us three has the best Rocky Balboa impression?
Definitely not me.
Not me, dude. I'm terrible with impressions. You know this. I keep trying to tell you don't do them. Well, you can do them though.
I'm going for it.
You got it.
This is really
now
bad
a good time
RNG.
for donations? Let me know when the next time is.
But I didn't get hit. This is perfect.
Nice.
That room is pretty nasty because the zombies in that room are placed completely randomly when you come back through there. More often than not, you get good RNG, but that was actually really bad placement that could have gone south pretty quick had I had any sort of flaws in my movement whatsoever. But we do have another short section if there's any more donations.
There is. We're actually getting a ton, so like that's awesome. So
Nice.
yeah, so we got oh my gosh, guys, they're coming in. Hazeblade, get ready. We might hit this 36K
I'm
sooner
looking forward to it.
than we thought. From Bond Job, we got another $5 who says, Scoop, thanks for keeping the world entertained in lockdown. Loving the stream. Stay safe. We got from K-Ton $5 who said, hey, from the Hazeblade community. I see sewers went fine. Lab Hunter memes to come. Watching your fantastic RNG run with Bell and Iridium. And then we got Harry L, who plugs his Twitter here. It's at Il Grill Chill. So give him a follow. Happy to support. And now here's some suggestions for impressions. Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. Batman from The Dark Knight Rises. Pear from IGN. And Clicker from The Last of Us.
Those are some good suggestions.
All right, I can cover the Batman one. That's all I'll help you with there, Mark.
All right, Jay. All right. And then we got from spreadsheetgaming.com, we got $100. So that is amazing. Thank you so much for that. From Ian Caudill, $50, who says do a Rocky impression. All right. Then we got from $5 from What the, who says pretty sure that's a Ninja Turtle. J Hobbs, do you even know your animals, sir? That must have been something in reference. And then we got from $5 Hype Train Y'all, who says who else is here for Hazeblade? I guess I am. Show some support from a man.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Let me just do my quick Rocky impression here. You got to do the mouth, and you got to let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. All right, I kind of lost it towards the end there, but you get the idea. You get the idea.
All right, well, I think it's J Hobbs' turn to do Batman. So.
All right, let's hear some Batman.
Let's see. Where is she?
All right, so I'm going to hit you guys with the Velociraptor impression, but I need a minute, okay?
All right.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait to
it's not going to work. I was going to use the hunter making noise as the Velociraptor. Dang it, because we don't have game audio.
Now you just have to do it for the next zombie.
All right. When the hunter comes out, I'll do a Velociraptor impression. All right, I got you guys covered. Don't worry.
You're our Foley, man. You can't forget.
Yeah. It's funny because when I was I went to college a few times, and one of the times I went to college, I went for audio engineering, and one of our big projects we had to actually assemble a Foley team, and it was the whole process of just like making up sounds is hilarious. Yeah. It's actually it's amazing how creative Foley artists get with some of these projects.
I'm always astounded. I've gotten to interview Power Up Audio a couple of times, and just getting to hear what they do for like day to day for a living, it's just absurd sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Then the second time I went to college, I went for game development. And
you were going to say you went for Velociraptor noises.
Yeah. I went to Velociraptor school back in '99, and that's what prepped me for Jurassic World a decade later, almost 2 decades later.
There you go. Somebody wanted an impression of Pear from IGN. I'm going to do a silent visual impression. So here we go. This is the first one. And then this is the second one. Oh, okay. Big screen. Here we go. And then here's the second one. And there we go. There we go.
So this section, by the way, for those of you that are curious. This section is an auto scroller. I can't make this section go any faster, but I do have to kill everything before it's over. So all of the spawns for these zombies, they're all scripted, including like which model of zombie spawn. When the second hunter comes out, because a lady in a blue shirt is going to come around the corner over here in just a few moments.
Yeah, I figured normally you were in a time section or something with all this being locked in this room.
Yeah, this is kind of like, for those of you RE4 fans out there, this is a lot like the cabin sequence. So there's the blue shirt lady. So here comes the hunter. And here's my Velociraptor impression. Here we go.
I hope that came across on stream. Discord kind of didn't like that and that was canceled that sound, but man.
All right, so here is Velociraptor remake impression. Warble, 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 warble. There you
go. Perfect.
All right, so
also,
these
somebody
zombies
in
are
chat
busting
said
through
your
the door.
Batman was really good.
Oh, yes, thank you.
We're going to throw this grenade to clear out this entire room of zombies because we obviously don't have time for all of this going on right now. And we've got to hold out for another 30 seconds after we set those explosives, which even if you're pretty low on ammo, it's kind of easy to do because these guys just take forever to get off the floor. So I could just have absolutely terrible aim like I've had this entire game. And eventually they'll give up in another 5 seconds. There we go. Good job. Good job, Hazeblade.
I love the thought that, like, because we're skipping all the cutscenes and stuff, I love the thought that there's just a timer going and the zombies are just like, well, off shift. Time to go home.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right. So
we are $180 away from our 36K goal, and it'll be worth it.
And we're coming up on the last segment of the game, too. We only got about 15 minutes left. So if we're going to hit 36K, we got to do it now, guys.
Now's the time to do it.
Now is the time.
J-Hobbs, real quick, if everybody donated $2.50, how many people would we need to donate? Real quick.
You have to give me
5 seconds.
Wait, what? We need like 70 people to donate for $2.50 each. That's it.
Check. Can we get a math check on that of 70 people?
72 for 180, but we already got 71 actually. It's 71 exactly. There you go. Stream math.
Look at him. Look at him go.
I definitely
He's amazing.
Google. All right. Hazeblade, do you want to take that super secret, like super cool 36K thing and maybe even upgrade it to the ultra secret super cool?
Oh yeah, for sure. If we hit, I probably should have pulled this lever before grabbing that herb, but you know what? It doesn't matter because we're fine. And if you guys want the super secret thing, please donate. We're so close, and it'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it.
We'll give you the as an added bonus. We'll give you the super secret one absolutely free.
Yeah.
Woo.
Might even have to run the gamut.
That's a steal.
Exactly. All right, so we are entering the final section of the game. This is Nest 2. The only reason it's called Nest 2 is because there was a Nest in RE2 Remake, and they just had to make sure that you knew it was a different Nest, so this is Nest 2. But we have to turn the power on before we can actually go inside. Actually, the power's on, but then somebody sabotaged it because they didn't want us to come inside, so...
Of course.
It happens.
Yes. So... now we have to go get all the fuses and turn the power back on. So everything is dark. We can't really see much of anything. That guy's super mean. I hope he doesn't grab me. Perfect. Thank you. Normally, you would actually let this guy grab you and take you into caution. But since this is the last segment of the game and it automatically puts you at full health when you take back over as Jill, if I were going for a PB or a record, I would, of course, go into caution there. But since I worry for my own personal safety, what would happen if I lost this run, we're going to play it safe and we're not going to take that intentional bite there. So
shut your mouth.
I also want to see what this new pop-up is because I've been told there might have been some Photoshop involved. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure.
Oh yeah. I gotta find out from my producers. Is that what we're getting at 36K? Because if so, it's double worth it.
I have no idea what it is.
I don't either.
I only barely know what Hazeblade's going to do.
Yeah, I know. We're just scratching the surface, man.
We're getting close, though. Real close.
So this is the part of the game where things can get really, really weird. So there are some pretty major bugs in this game that unfortunately Capcom has decided not to patch out. And there is a chance that my grenade launcher will just not work for the majority of the rest of the game.
Ooh, that
So
sounds fine.
we call it the Phantom Grenade round, or the Phantom Mine round, rather. And the idea is that sometimes the game just decides to pretend after you shoot the mine and the mine leaves your inventory and is gone forever, the game randomly decides, oh, you didn't shoot that mine. And then it just is gone and it explodes and it does no damage and nothing happens. And it still takes it out of your inventory. So we're going to hope that that doesn't happen.
That sounds like such a menace to deal with, kind of like a phantom menace.
Hey, look, it didn't happen, but I also forgot the these. So let's go do that. And then we're going to run away. Okay.
Mark's just like ignoring my bad puns at this point.
Sorry,
It's
no,
just my bad
I'm here.
This hunter, we can still do that line of sight trick where we just keep him out of camera view and goodbye. Nice. Pretty straightforward. And this room is also kind of RNG. You can sometimes just like randomly get bit, which it doesn't look like we are going to, so that's good. Fantastic. We're going to switch over to the flame rounds because we got a little skip coming up here in just a moment. And I'm going to YOLO this section just for swag points real quick. Okay, well, that was a subpar YOLO, but it's okay. Normally, you would actually shoot one of these mine rounds into that group, but I personally hate the mine launcher because, as I mentioned before, it just randomly doesn't work and it's super annoying. So I just opt in to just avoid that entirely and just run through them in YOLO and hope I don't get wrecked.
Nice.
Which the whip that they do
with
the
let me know when the
bad.
next time for donations is.
Right now would be perfect.
Okay, let's do it then. Donate.ign.com, guys. We're pushing for 36K. We got a new pop-up, and Hazeblade is gonna do something real silly. We got $5 from what the, who says your mom goes to college. Getting real worried about what does financial situation. He might be going broke. We got $10 from Mesh Potato. We got $5 from what the, who says what's the super secret thing? Well, we're waiting. We can need $92 more dollars.
Yeah, we gotta hit 36K, and you'll find out.
I'm convinced.
When I fired that,
oh, good.
When I fired that
another
random
$5 from my wife. I'm starting to get worried about my own financial situation. She says, I want to see the super secrets thing. We got Aaron Still, who said Carol Baskin killed her husband. 36K hype train. I don't know what that is. We got Devin Nugent, who says, hello, Sydney Goodman. You are my favorite host. And then we got $5 from Jana Banana. So we need the hype train to keep going. We need $92 more.
Not even $91.50.
We're almost there.
We need $91.50 more dollars.
You only got about 10 minutes, guys. It's coming down to the wire. So actually, probably less than that. We'll probably be done in about 7 minutes, I think.
Oh, we gotta make that push. It's time. It's final day. You got to have those big pushes on the final day.
It'll be 10 minutes if Nemi 3 wrecks me, but I think we'll be okay. I think we have enough ammo for Nemi 3, so we should be good.
I think at this point, Mark's favorite part of Summer of Gaming is just reading, what the? Just what the? Every time you sound so excited to read his name.
All right, so we've got a pretty cool room here. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be quiet so you guys can witness the glory that is like how terribly I'm probably going to execute this room, but how good it looks if I do it right. So here we go.
Okay.
Looks good so far.
We don't have time for these guys, okay? We just don't have time for them.
Did you do it right?
You can actually do that room firing one less mine round, but that is basically what it looks like when you do it right, just with one extra mine round.
Yeah. Guys, we may or may not have hit 36K. Oh my gosh, look at that pop up. Oh my gosh, it's us! What? Look at that!
All right, you guys deserve it. For those of you that follow me over here on the beautiful website that is Twitch, you guys already know what this is, but I do a special surprise for my viewers with this baby Bjorn, and we have the child for you to enjoy for the rest of the run. So here we go.
Hazeblade is the Mandalorian.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
There he is. Oh, that's amazing.
And we are setting this room up for success by just absolutely annihilating all of these hunters.
Wow.
I laid down 2 mine rounds over there, which insta-killed that guy, and then I used a few more to take care of these guys. So that was pretty easy and straightforward. I need to sit the child.
Oh no, I was gonna say I love the framing, by the way, because you had Baby Yoda just being like soon.
Yes.
Just looking right over.
He's just like. I guess I better read the donations. We got Iber 1996 $2 who says yee yee, and then we got Tim Doris with $100 who pushed us over the edge, who says oh boy, 40 61 79 20 74 68 65 20 52 4E 47 20 62 65 20 77 69 74 68 20 79 6F 75 21. I just read all of those, so congrats.
It's not like the numbers from Lost or something, is it? Like, what is that?
I don't know. We need someone to type in these coordinates. We need to get them down to the lab, and we need to figure this out.
Ooh.
Well, I ran out of mine rounds, so that made that room a little bit more difficult. But we still have enough ammo for an ME3, so we're good.
Watch your profanity.
Guys, that was from Jurassic Park. I have seen that movie. I am an expert at that movie. Come to me for all of your Jurassic Park questions.
See, I'll just always call him Newman. So Newman was just trying to cover the screen when you got grabbed there to make it so nobody saw.
Guys, I'm going to push right now. Baby Yoda is only... Oh my gosh.
It's too good.
I love it. I love that we're the backup dancers for Hazeblade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Oh, that is too good.
If we hit 36-1, we can have Hazeblade change his baby there, because we've got more to show off.
Yeah, well, there is more in the collection. This is true. All right, so we're coming up on Nemi 3. This is the hardest boss in the game because there's just this fight is actually frame rate dependent, but fortunately I have my frame rate fixed. So as long as I don't crit him too much, then we should be good. Like, that's one of the random things that he can do right here, which makes no sense because he should not be able to do that. Like, what he just did completely ruined my strat.
Oh no. Time for the backup.
God. This is not. I'm actually going to go ahead and reload the save because there's so much time lost with what just happened there, and that is completely unavoidable. By the way, if that happens, it is, and you're on PB pace, it's just over, and there's nothing you can do about it. So when you shoot him here, he is not supposed to do that roar. So for some random reason, he just decided that it was okay to do the roar.
Sure. Why not?
But we're good.
Gotta love enemy AI that doesn't behave.
Yeah, no kidding.
Guys, we got $50 from Humphrey, who says, here's a 50 for J Hobbs's dynamite impression of Batman.
Thanks. I wonder if that's GDQ's Humphrey. If so, hello. If not, hello anyways.
So this is where it's frame rate dependent right here, is the part where he's running in circles up here. And you really don't want him to run extra laps because it's time loss. The lower frame rate, the more laps he does.
Oh, wow.
So I was actually very fortunate to get a stagger there. Oh, hello, lady.
She's like walking up, just like, excuse me, can I borrow a cup of sugar?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's rough.
All right, we should be okay.
I hate when that happens to me.
He may get up here, but that's all right because I've got a few more shotgun shells. All right, he's done. It's over.
Nice.
One more boss.
Just one more.
One more. And I'm going to grab some safety health up here. So we've got a FAST just in case. FAST stands for first aid spray. It's just what we in the RE community call them for short. We like to abbreviate things because sometimes we get very preoccupied with the run.
Why do mini word when small word do trick? Right, guys?
Of course.
Yeah.
So we get to use this super awesome rail cannon during this fight, which, by the way, when we go shoot right here, it just completely malfunctions. So we don't get to use it, actually.
Oh, man. That's so dope.
The good news... The good news is that we get to turn the power on and then we get to use it later. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We shoot those little like pink bubble things that are protruding from his body. And on standard difficulty, you can actually hit all 3 of these power cells before he gets up. And although we are tackling the final boss of the game, and it's basically GG from here, we still have a little bit more to do before we finish the game. So,
okay, of course.
This is another example where we can kind of use that triple dodge to get into an interactable thing like I was mentioning earlier in the run. But he won't fully complete his recovery animation, and then we'll do another triple dodge into the rail cannon. Now we get to see the rail cannon in action. I'm actually you can't skip this cutscene anyway, so we actually get to see how powerful this thing is.
Awesome.
Like it just rips a hole through this guy.
I love how they knew just how badass you looked pulling that thing out the first time, that they just use the exact same animation when you actually get to do it.
Yeah, and this is a skippable cutscene, but I just want to show you guys the mouth shot just straight tearing through the middle of this dude, okay?
Oh my god.
Just leaving nothing but just like gore everywhere. And also
that's how I would describe it.
Look how many walls just got like just absolutely wrecked by that rail can. 1, 2, 3 that we can see so far.
Jeez, that's incredible.
So now we are making our last escape, which, funny enough, overseas, the subtitle for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis was actually Resident Evil 3 Last Escape. So we are making our last escape now and taking the elevator that, by the way, this chamber looks exactly like the chamber in the center of the lab in RE2, which I guess makes sense. I guess that makes sense because it's Nest 2, right? So naturally they would make all of the elevator shafts look exactly the same. So
it looked a little like just the
makes sense to me.
The scene from Empire Strikes Back, like it kind of just looked like the
it kind of did.
And here comes time right after I shoot Nikolai and give him what he deserves. That's time right there.
Hey, GG.
We did it.
We did it.
Were you running a timer?
I was not. No, I was just kind of guesstimating. But yeah.
I assume it was world record.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Schrodinger's world record. We can only assume.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll make a separate set of categories that are specifically for RTA, and then this will be a record.
Exactly.
There we go.
Since nobody's submitted any,
we'll
right?
make it our own record.
Exactly. It's a record in here. Okay, that's all that matters.
Here's the good news and the bad news. Okay, the great news is, we'll start with the bad news. The bad news is the awards show doesn't start for 12 minutes. You beat the game too fast.
That's why all these beautiful. Yeah.
But the great news is that means that we get to tell people to donate, because if we hit 36, we need what, $17 more? We get a new baby for Hazeblade.
We get a new baby, yeah.
Absolutely. We'll have a new Hazeblade. I will read what we have. We got $20 from what the and he says, I need people to know that I'm not reading that just for the fun. It's literally in all caps, what the ! That's the only proper way to read that. And he says, and now I'm broke. Great live streams. I wish IGN did more of these. The engagement is so much fun. Also, pretty sure that's a man bear pig. The last boss was a man bear pig. Totally.
Yes.
I was like, are they talking about about Baby Yoda somehow? Just trying.
I mean,
their definitions of man bear pig have been very, very spotty.
It's kind of been all over the place. It's kind of been everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we got 250 from D Martin, which I did tell everyone to vote or to donate 250. So one guy listened. I appreciate that.
There you go.
His name is Big D Martin. He says, do a Todd Howard impression about buying Skyrim. Also, it was a great summer with you guys. Okay, let's see what you guys. Guys, we are releasing Skyrim on the new iPhone. It just works. It just works. If he ever sees that, then it's over for me and my relationship with Bethesda. guys,
Hey, what
it just
read
works.
that?
It just works.
Oh man.
So that was fun. It was cool. It was cool being friends with Bethesda up until now. And then we got another $10 from Anonymous. So we need $7 more, and we'll do the
$7 more. You guys can do this.
We'll do a new baby change out.
We have a new
Also,
baby,
I want to do a stretch goal. Well, there we go. We just did it.
There it is. There it is.
Let's get the full screen on Hazeblade.
All right, we need the new baby.
What baby? I think the baby that you were going to first.
The one I was gonna. You think so?
I think so.
You think
so.
so? We have
I
all of
was
these. We have
thinking-
all these amazing choices. You know what I
We
mean?
might as well just show everyone the choices at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can. Yeah, okay, yeah, we can do that. We can show you guys all the choices. All right. So, and for those of you guys that are fans of everything out here, all right. So we have, if you guys are for the Alliance, okay, World of Warcraft, we have a Griffin hatchling from World of Warcraft, very cute, very adorable, and yeah. So that's option one.
I want to speak for the chat right now and let everybody know that we are for the Alliance in this stream. This is an official for the Alliance stream.
For a second there, you almost sounded like Sent or Resident Prize Man at GDQs, just trying to like hawk his prizes.
So we also have we have more than just script hashing. We have Pikachu for all of the Nintendo fans out there and Pokemon. Okay, we have Pikachu. We have Eric Hartman for the South Park fans. But here's the thing. All right.
That's my favorite one.
There's a baby that none of you guys knew about, okay? This is what you guys all donated for, okay? You guys all donated for this baby.
An actual
baby. You guys donated for the actual baby. Yes. Oh, she's sad. Okay, she's sad. She's sad. Okay. All right.
Didn't want the makeup on.
All right, so we'll do the first one that we were gonna do, which was we did Cartman. That was the first one, right? That we were gonna do.
That was my favorite one.
All right, here it is.
That was what Mark wanted.
There we go.
God damn it!
It's my Cartman impression. That's all I have.
I don't have a Cartman impression, so that
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I love all the babies. I wish you could wear them all. You need to get a baby Bjorn for
You know what's funny though? What's funny is that I actually think I might have room for all of them. Let's see if we can get the whole family in this thing. All right. It might work.
Well, all but one. All but the most important one.
Well,
the chat's saying that the baby did not like being on stream.
Yeah, I was trying to say it was like when you go on camera, you got to get your makeup on and all that. It's like, oh no, she wasn't ready for it.
She did not have a say in this.
The anti-shine powder.
So, funny thing is a little bit of backstory on like the joke behind that is when I first got partnered on Twitch, we did a subathon and I had I called it a wheel of fortune, but it was really a wheel of misfortune because most of it was all punishing things that I would have to do. But the good things that were on there that were not punishment, one of them was that I would do a speed run with my daughter in the baby Bjorn. And so they actually met that and it ended up being on the wheel. We actually made it all the way through the wheel. And so about a month ago, I finally delivered on it since she was big enough to be in the Bjorn. And so there's on somewhere in my highlights on Twitch, there's a speed run with me and my daughter. So
that's cool.
I love that Hazeblade is just surrounded by stuffed animals now.
I love it. It's funny because this is about I have one more stuffed animal in my bedroom and it's like a little bumblebee, but like not like Transformers Bumblebee, like an actual bumblebee. But my son's stuffed animal collection is much larger than mine. He probably has like 40, probably somewhere close to like 40 stuffed animals. Yeah.
Hazeblade, after the stream ends, which is going to happen very soon, where can we find you and your stuffed animals?
You can find me and my stuffed animals at twitch.tv/Hazeblade. You guys can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at HazebladeTV. You can also find me on YouTube at HazebladeTV. I'm on the internet all the time, so definitely check out my YouTube channel. I do blind playthroughs. I do speed runs. Sometimes I just hang out and chat. We are a very, like, outside of profanity, like the family component is a very big part of that. So if you guys, like to watch, videos with your significant other and stuff like that, and YouTube and stuff like that, like we love having like couples watch the stream. That's kind of a thing. And sometimes my girlfriend and I will stream together too, so it's a lot of fun.
Perfect. J-Hobbs, we're at the end here. What's where can we find you and GDQ and all that good stuff after we're done?
Well, you can find me here on the IGN stream tomorrow for the super secret ultra after her party stream. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you, Mark.
But it actually scared me for a second there. I was like, wait, I don't remember this. What's happening?
No, I wouldn't do that to you. All right, but you can find me on Twitter at J_Hobbs right there. And then on Twitch, JHobbs296 at the end, because I'm still a scrub who has not been able to strip the numbers from my name. And also don't forget, everybody, that Games Done Quick does this kind of thing all the time. We do like charity marathons 2 or more times a year. And we stream. So twitch.tv/Games Done Quick. We have the GDQ Hotfix shows. I've got a regular show on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's super fun. Highly recommend checking out. It's all about getting into speedrunning in a lower effort way and having a lot of fun along the way. So check that out. And Summer Games Done Quick is going to be raising money for Doctors Without Borders. I almost said the wrong charity. We're going to be raising money for Doctors Without Borders August 16th to the 23rd. Again, twitch.tv/Games Done Quick or gamesdonequick.com for more information on all of that. Thank you so much for having me, Mark. This has been a super fun month. At first, I was like, okay, it'll be a fun, couple of days, and then now it's been a whole month. It's been great.
It's been quite a while. I remember when we first reached out and they're like, yeah, J-Hobbs is going to do all of them. And I was like, okay, there's a lot of them. But you did. And I have my calendar up here. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is our 9th one, which is weird to think about. And some of them were very, very long. But it's been and one of them was 2 in one day. So that was a good time. I told everybody in our last stream that I would watch Jurassic Park if we hit a certain goal. I did. So you can find me on Twitter at Mark_Medina. Look for the hashtag Jurassic Mark 2020 and you'll see my live tweet. But just to sum it up, I thought the movie was fine. And I guess I wished I would have watched it when I was a child because I thought some parts were a little boring. Shut your mouth! I think, what are you going to do? But that's going to do it for us. Hazeblade, J-Hobbs, thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, as always.
There's the boy. And J-Hobbs, thank you for doing all the streams. You've been amazing.
It's been fun. It's been a blast. I love speedruns.
All right, guys, we are just about to kick off the IGN Summer of Gaming Awards. But that doesn't mean our charity efforts are over. Check out donate.ign.com and keep them coming if you can spare. In the meantime, leave us a video comment, hit us up on TikTok, and speedrun your next game for me, your friend Mark, who has now totally seen Jurassic Park. Who wrote this? This is hilarious. Oh, and stay tuned after the awards for a live DJ set by Galantis at 4 p.m. PT. You can check that out everywhere you watch IGN and enter at the link in the description below for a chance to join the VIP Zoom room. The VIP Zoom room. I like how that sounds. All right, guys, I am out for Summer Gaming 2020. Stay safe, my friends. But before I go, I've got some exclusive Airborne Kingdom footage to share with you. So check it out. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Hi everyone, this is Ben Wander, founder and designer at The Wandering Band, and I'm here to show you a little bit more Airborne Kingdom, which uniquely combines exploration and management. So far, we've shared a lot about the city building, so today we want to focus on the quests and exploration. In Airborne Kingdom, your goal is to reunite the lost kingdoms and guide them to renewed glory. For example, the Kingdom of Rutula needs to rebuild their great conservatory and they ask for our help. We reconstruct it, and then we journey to find a golden sapling. After we gather the sapling, we head back to return it, helping to rejuvenate Rutula's symbol of prosperity. But as you're completing quests, you still need to focus on building your own kingdom. For example, we've reached our maximum weight, so we need to build a fan. This will allow us to add more buildings and grow our own kingdom further. There really is no delineation between construction, exploration, questing, or management. They all meld together naturally as you play the game. And as you can see below us, the Kingdom of Rutula has really grown since we started helping them, regaining some of their former majesty. And we've grown as well. Throughout the vast expanses of Airborne Kingdom, you'll meet many other peoples that need your help to reconnect to the world around them. These distant seas house kingdoms with much different problems than we saw at Rutula, but we still need to help every one of them. This fall, you'll be able to explore the vasts for yourself and grow your own unique kingdom while helping others on the ground. Consider a pre-order on Epic. It means a lot to any small indie dev, including ourselves. We'll see you in the skies very soon.
And moments from this summer's coverage. And don't forget, you can weigh in with your picks by leaving us a Yappa video comment at IGN.com or following IGN on TikTok. Now, after the awards, I'll be back right here for an awesome after party featuring a DJ set by Galantis, where you can join the party via Zoom. Check the description down below to see how.
But before that, we've got a few more fun new things to show today, including an update on what's in store for Madden NFL 21, and an exclusive look at Kena Bridge of Spirits, which was just revealed a few weeks ago alongside the PlayStation 5.
That's right. But right now, a look at what Bethesda has in store for Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 Wastelanders, it's here. And the roadmap for 2020 is also here. So to break it down with us, we have Farrah Bodwin and Jeff Gardner. Hello, boys.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Hello. Let's start with patch 20. I want to just jump right in. We have a new event. All the new details. Go. Let's hear them.
Okay, so patch 20 has a ton of new features in it. It has our legendary perk system, which will help the players who are level 50 and above who've been playing the game the last year to get new exciting features into their character. And we're swapping those in and out. It's in PTS right now. We're getting great feedback. We're already making major changes. I was on the phone this morning with some folks in Austin. We also have the new easy teams. We called it internally our looking for group system, which puts purple icons on the map for anyone who wants to be in a group. It gives you a subtype of group that you want to play. It's super exciting, so people can join in and start feeling more of the community. It also gives folks in a way to level up a little faster or get different. There's different features that come with that called bonding, where you get different buffs depending on the type of party you've chosen to be, role playing or exploring or questing. And then also, not to override the big event that you just mentioned, Wendigo Colossus is coming. It's a super new event that spawned off a nuke. It's a huge Colossus in a big cave. It's super fun to play. There's a lot of environmental hazards. It's a very difficult boss. Again, we're tweaking it as we go. We're trying to make it for 8 players and balance it proper with great rewards. So we're really excited.
I want to talk more about the legendary perks. So they come every level 50, correct? Now, how does that work with your alternate characters? You get to move them over to your alts?
Yeah, no, the idea is that it's something that you earn and then it's bound to your account, basically. So it makes it so that, like, if you achieve it in one place, that it becomes something that it just, it becomes a value addition to every character you start after that.
Yeah, once
So
you've unlocked the
it's-
slot, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, and
once you
so-
unlock the
about
slot,
that-
it's open to all your characters that you roll. So you can then use that legendary perk from level 1 on. Though the perk cards themselves go up in rank based on how many other cards you scrap. So they are unique to the character, so that the rank ups are unique. So that way it allows us to balance it a little, so level 1 character doesn't have this massively ranked up card. But the cards are super fun. There's such things as, like, when you blow up a creature, when you hit a creature in combat, it explodes and does area effect damage to everything around it. And there's all these different buffs. We try to accentuate different systems with that. There's 16 new perks coming right now, and they're all coming in June.
Jeez.
Whoops, I spoiled the patch date.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Patch 20 is in PTS right now, but you actually have a release date for it, correct?
We always target release dates, but right now our release date's the end of June. That said, it depends on the feedback in PTS. We're taking that very seriously this time. So if we need to make balance tweaks, or we're finding bugs or any stability issues, we're going to have to hold it. But right now we're targeting late June. And there's a possibility that we might also patch and leave some of the features off if they need more work. We just want to make sure we're doing right, and the feedback we're getting from the community is invaluable. There's only so many eyeballs we can put on it internally. There's only so many hours we can put on it internally, but once we put it live, we have over 1,500 users in our PTS this weekend, so it was great, and they already have given us a ton of feedback we're going to react to.
One great thing about
That's
the PTS feedback. One great thing about the PTS feedback is it's live people with their actual feedback. Like, you can get kind of almost in your head as a developer to where you think that this perk is fantastic, and then you see actual people play it and they're like, oh, that fell flat, or
oh no,
oh my god, everybody's picking that. Either one is a problem, and so PTS feedback allows us to sort of dial in on the fun.
So patch 20, targeting end of June, I'm assuming that is when season 1 will start and people will get to start ranking up to level 100. How do you expect that that's going to go?
Okay, let's explain it. So we decided to revamp our challenge system, and we put 100 ranks in. That is going to be every season. We're targeting seasons every quarter. They're going to change the theme and the nature of the board game you're playing based on other content that's coming, stuff like that. So ones down the road will be more Brotherhood of Steam themed and such. So we are excited for these. We were playing it this week internally. Again, it's just a way for you to log in and go, if I do these 5 things today, I will get a rank or 2 in this. And we're unlocking, right now we're targeting around 40 different cosmetic rewards, from all the way from small little things, icons, to power armor skins. We're targeting a ton of consumables, other buffs, including also atoms, which you can then use in the store to buy other things. So, and we're trying to make this as user-friendly as possible. So if you're a player of the game and you're enjoying the game every day, you shouldn't have that much difficulty actually getting all 100 ranks. If you're like me and you have a raft of kids and all sorts of stuff going on and you can't play every day, then sometimes you might want to just spend some of the atoms you either earned in the challenge pass itself or your own atoms to rank it up. We're really excited for the system, and like all systems, we're going to tweak it based on player feedback. The first 2 weeks, we're not even going to allow you to purchase any of the rank ups. Again, so we can monitor things and see how it's going, and also allow the users, the people who are fans of the game, to just earn it as they go. But the board game is really cool. It's super thematic. Our artists and UI engineers do a great job with really theming it and making it feel like it's a part of the Fallout universe. And the rewards are super exciting. They're outstanding, frankly. So, including some utility items, I think. So.
One thing I really like about it is also the challenges are a great way to just sort of make it so that you have an incentive to change up the way you play the game. And a lot of times you can just be in sort of, you've been playing it the same way for a long time, and you may not even know that there's some cool opportunities out there. And so it's a gentle nudge, an incentive to, hey, try going ahead and defeating something with a heavy gun. You may find that it is the best thing ever. And if not, it's just variety. And so that's a good thing too.
So some Fallout 76 fans are a little nuts. They play a long time. Do you guys have any internal estimates on how long you think it could take someone to get to like level 100? Like an insane estimate on like, wow, this person did it in a week or something like that.
I don't know if you do it in a week. We're targeting internally about an hour a day, maybe an hour and a half. It's hard to gauge this accurately because some of these challenges are super easy to do. You can just boom, boom, boom. Some of them require a little more digging in, or skills you might not have, or things you have to accomplish in order to accomplish the challenge pass reward. So, but we are trying to make it like an hour a day. And that said, still our game on average, our play times are 2.5 hours for all our, and that's all across all users. So we have incredibly long engagement in our game. So we figured by targeting like between an hour and 2, we were coming in a very fair spot because the majority of our users are already playing the game that long. Now, I don't know, like if they're building or legendary grinding or doing different things, this will force them maybe out of their comfort zone, like Farrett's saying. But we hope that it actually ends up rewarding players and introducing them to new mechanics or things they didn't know were there.
As far as
my group takes a lot of pictures. That's what they're doing. So.
Oh no, yeah, some of the folks. Yeah, my Twitter feed is full of them. They're amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
We pass them.
Sorry, go ahead, Barrett.
Yeah, we pass them.
We pass them out.
Yeah, share them.
You know, like,
I think they're going to be thrilled. I think they're going to be thrilled to hear that.
It's hard to gauge the most enthusiastic people we have and how fast they can turn through content. It seems like virtually magical how fast that they can get through things. So who knows? Like I'm sure there'll be a first well before we anticipated for hitting level 100.
Yeah, I saw last week somebody made a coffee table book, Art of the Wasteland, and they took all their screenshots and self-published a coffee table book. I was like, send a copy of that to me. It was great.
So real quick, we're almost out of time. I just want to touch on One Wasteland for All. What's the super fast version of what exactly that is?
Okay, that's coming in patch 22, which is our fall patch. That is a renormalization of the game, and now I know that can be scary to some people. There's a few things that we waited on this because we wanted to test this thoroughly in our public test server with the fans. 2, we're doing a real-time normalization, so it's not as if everything will be crunched down. There's going to be minimum levels and maximum levels on all creatures. Some creatures will span the whole range, but mole rats, for instance, won't go very high, and death claws won't go very low. So whenever if you're level 1 with your machete, you're not going to probably want to take the death claw on because while it will be a low level death claw, it will still be much higher than you. So what we're trying to do there is encourage 2 things. 1, more exploration of the wasteland, either from low levels going into higher level zones or vice versa. So higher level players can go into low level zones and not feel like it's just no challenge. 2, we're trying to encourage players to come together. That's the real time normalization. So even though you might be level 5 and I'm level 500, we're actually affecting the creature in the same way. So I'm effectively fighting a level 500 creature. So when it hits me or the amount of damage I do to it, it's as if it's a level 500, well, 100, frankly, but a high level creature. And you are fighting a low level creature version of that. So it should take about the same amount of bullets to kill it, depending on your weapons, and do about the same amount of damage. So if it's taking 25% of your health a chunk, it'll do that to me and to you. And what we're trying to do is encourage players to play together. That's our whole thing this year. We're really trying to engage the community, make this more of a community feel game than the solo player MMORPG we've been labeled with. And then also make it so, again, like we're just trying to normalize some of the challenges. It should make balance easier. It'll make our future content patches feel better for all players because the content will be balanced. We have a real problem in the game right now, I'll be honest, where you go into a zone and sometimes a low-level player's gone in first or a high-level player, and that greatly affects how hard the zone is. So it's very unpredictable. So and unpredictable systems aren't fun to players because the only way you learn that is by getting your teeth kicked in. You don't want to get your teeth kicked in. You want to know if I'm going into a high level zone and WoW, I'm going to get my teeth kicked in. At least I chose that. I didn't just randomly wander into, molten core.
One thing I really like about One Wasteland is it makes it so that the forest area, which has some really awesome locations, if you're really high level, you go in there and it's a cakewalk. And it's a shame because there are some just fantastic places to visit. And yet there's not much incentives to when you're high level. Conversely, there's a lot of quests which point you fairly early to places like the Cranberry Bog or other places. And if you go there too early, it can be very punitive. So this makes it so that you can feel free to explore the way you want to explore at your own sort of pace, and also go back to places that you like, and that it'll still be fun and challenging.
Just one thing I want to end on really quick, if I can say really quick, is remember all this stuff is free. All these updates we're doing, everything we've talked about today is free for all players. So if you have 76 and you haven't picked it up in a while, or you're an old player and you want to come back, whatever that is, or you've been playing the whole time, remember Wasteland, all these updates we talked about today are totally free. So please come and join us. We're taking the feedback. I think we're we've made great strides with this game over the last year. I'm really proud of the team and what the team's accomplished this last year, and we think the game's great, and we'd hope everyone joins in and comes, has fun, plays with us.
Well, I don't have a calendar on me, but it sounds like patch 20 is coming very soon. You said end of June. I've lost all concept of time. But,
some would say.
I'm told that
we're trying our best.
We're
dealing with
now.
we're dealing with the same situation everyone else is. We're working from home, so sometimes it's harder to gauge. But again, like if we feel like it's great in PTS, we're going to release it, and if not, we'll hold it and fix what we need to.
All right, guys. Well, that sounds super exciting. Jeff, Ferret, thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks.
IGN Summer of Gaming is brought to you by Fuser, who will be partying with us all summer long.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games getting completely wrecked? That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to Speedruns.
You can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game it took years of their life to create. Join us every Saturday for a new episode.
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show, Power Ranking, where you can vote on all your favorite things on the internet. Do it now! Do it! Just go! Vote! Go vote!
News, games, and more is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Welcome back to IGN Summer of Gaming. EA has been putting out a brand new Madden NFL game every year for decades, so it would be pretty weird if they stopped now. We got a chance to take a look at what's new in Madden NFL 21 coming later this year. Check it out.
Sounds good.
Ryan McCaffrey here with Sean Grady, the executive producer on Madden NFL 21. Sean, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you guys.
So a lot to cover here with you. It's a extra big year with regards to Madden. We'll stay focused on current gen for the moment, but I wanted to start with you. You know, this is obviously an extra strange year. Like, I've never made a game before, but I have to imagine that sports game developers have one of the toughest jobs in the industry, and that you guys have a calendar date to hit every year, every 12 months. So really, you only get roughly 9 or so months of actual development when you factor in pre-production and certification and testing. So how do you decide what to try and innovate on in Madden every year without A, running out of time, and B, breaking everything else?
First of all, thanks for throwing us some love on the challenge of producing a sports game every year. It definitely,
absolutely,
it is definitely, it's definitely a challenge. And on behalf of my team, I know they're all thanking you as well for showing some respect and love there. I mean, I get asked a lot, it's football at the end of the day. How do you guys come up with new ideas? And I always say there's no shortage of ideas on the team. We've got plenty of things that we want to do. And as you said, we have to kind of pick and choose where we want to go and innovate each and every year. I will say this, it almost always starts with gameplay. We believe very strongly that gameplay is the foundation of any good sports game. So we're always looking to provide some innovation space. And building new ideas and new features. And then we kind of look across our modes. We added a new mode in Superstar KO last year, actually a month after launch, which we thought was a cool, innovative way to play football. And so we're always looking for ways to expand on our modes. If we've really been investing in a mode deeply for a long time, we may do some quality of life improvements in that space and then push some of the innovation in other areas. Because as you said, you've got to kind of pick and choose where you want to invest on an annual cycle.
So how many Maddens is this going to be for you when this one goes out the door? How many under your belt?
I was just thinking that the other day. So I started on Madden 13 and I was with it through 18. I did a one stint away on another project on NBA Live. I actually did NBA Live 19. And then I've come back for 20 and now 21. So 8, 9. Something like that. But I've been at the studio for 16 years.
Wow, that is impressive. So, I mean, you mentioned gameplay being at the heart of everything. So this year for Madden NFL 21, it seems like the right thumbstick is the primary driver for a lot of the new gameplay features this year on both sides of the ball. So I'm just sort of curious, where is the germ of that idea come from? And how quickly do you start just prototyping ideas and testing them out and building off of that idea of let's do more with the right thumbstick?
Well, it comes from a number of things. It comes from individuals on the team. Maybe they just have an idea where they've been experimenting with something and they propose it to the creative director or some of the gameplay leads. One example I can talk about today is our D-line mechanic, which is back on the right stick, and longtime fans will know that it's been there in the past. But the idea that we're implementing and delivering this year actually came from one of our animators. Frankly, he had worked on it 2 years ago, and we just weren't ready yet to implement in the way that he was proposing. So that's one example. Most of us are gamers, as you would hope and believe. So as we're playing other games, you might be influenced by something else that you've played where it just something felt right on the right stick, and then you kind of translate that to a mechanic in our game. It also just kind of naturally fits in a sports game where you're controlling direction with the left stick, and that right stick, that kind of flick of a right stick just feels quick, instant, and allows you to pull off really impressive things. So I'd say it comes from most of those kind of channels.
Can you give me a concrete example, maybe from a play test recently with Madden 21, of a play that ended up, you finished the play and it ends up, and it just felt better and or was more realistic, specifically because of these new changes that you've implemented this year versus how that same play would have felt in a previous version of the game?
Well, I'm going to give you one in both directions. One that feels good, and one that maybe is actually we're going to discuss with our players if it's the right way to go. And they're both on the skill stick, which is our offensive right stick mechanic now. The one that just feels right is the dead leg, which is basically a flick down, and it kind of stops on perfect timing with the video that I'm seeing here. It basically stops on a dime. You kind of go on your back foot, and hopefully you have a defender fly in front of you. We've got a couple different variations on the animations, and that just the way it feels on your timing of the right stick, the animation that you get just immediately feels and looks right. The one that maybe is a bit more controversial, and frankly, we're going to have to iterate with our fans on this one, is we've actually put the hurdle on the right stick up, which is normally truck stick in years past. It's been that way for years. And the reason we did that is we want the moves that are on the right stick to all be combo moves. So you can combine a juke and a hurdle together on the right stick, and it looks amazing. You can combine two jukes together, a dead leg into a juke. And so we wanted to have all these series of moves that you could do seamlessly together on the right stick. So again, we decided to put the hurdle at the top of the stick, but we are getting feedback internally. And when our build comes out and our beta comes out, I'm sure we're going to get more feedback from our players on whether or not we want to keep it there. And we'll make the right decision for our players at the end of the day.
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny. It almost sounds like you're bringing some of that NBA Live experience over with all these moves that you can chain together off of the right stick, and it sounds like on paper that makes a ton of sense what you're saying.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I mean, I think there was a lot of good mechanics in NBA Live, and some of those mechanics translate to football in a way that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, there's definitely some influence, and that's just an example of, again, like one game that I think our team members play and they get influenced by.
So I've just got a couple more minutes with you here before I've got to let you go. But I am curious, what real life NFL player is that you hear from is either on Twitter or directly like reaching out is most vocal about their representation in the game? I mean, we know they all care about their player rating in Madden. Who is in your ear the most, either good or bad? Like, hey, yeah, I'm a 94. Yes, love you guys. Or maybe the other way. So who's in your ear the most about the Madden version of themselves?
I mean, Tyreek Hill's definitely on top of his likeness in game. He calls himself the Cheetah, and he expects to be the fastest player in the game, and he's pretty close to it, if not. So I would give him a nod as one of those guys. We've had a few defensive linemen or offensive linemen that always want to challenge their speed, and we know they're not as fast as other players. I won't name names in this case, but I'll go with Tyreek Hill. He's a fan of the game and wants to be the fastest player in the game.
Love it. All right, one more question for you here, Sean. So your release date is back at the end of August this year, which is where it had traditionally been for a long, long time. But the last couple of years, you guys have come out around the end of July, about a month up from that. So was the pandemic a factor? You guys are all working from home, just like most, or if not every game developer I've spoken to, or sort of how that, and also how has the work from home been for you and your team?
Yeah, the biggest thing is I guess two things come to mind. We definitely want to be out before the NFL season, and we're happy to be there, and we'll see kind of how the NFL season unfolds. But we think it's important that we're there arriving ahead of the season, and we're glad to do that. The second thing is we want to make sure that we're delivering quality at launch. So we just evaluated where we were with our features, evaluated the time we needed to get them to the quality that we want for launch, and that was the right date. Like I said, still getting it out in time for the NFL season. As far as working from home, it's been amazing. I mean, you're hearing this from a lot of tech companies. We announced it on like a Thursday night, said, hey, everybody's going to be working from home. And literally within a week or two, our entire team was figuring out how to get builds on our kits at home, how to get their dev kits home so that they could, work on the area code that they're in, how we could actually have frankly, like a retail version of the game running for people like myself or other producers and designers that are playing it on a regular basis and giving feedback. We certainly saw some hiccups and a few bumps in the road and challenges. If you imagine like testing online play, where you typically have 2 or 3 QA testers with an engineer sitting together and giving real-time feedback. You can't do that now. You miss a little of that magic of walking through the hallway and just having a random conversation about a mechanic that maybe you've played. Everything's got to be scheduled now if you want to talk to somebody. So we've dealt with that, but a couple of months in now, I think we're starting to hit our stride, and I'm really proud, honestly, of what this team, and frankly, I'm sure the entire video game industry has done to get their games out the door, on time to quality in this situation.
Well, Sean, I'm very glad that you guys were able to take a little extra time, get the game as polished up and as perfect as possible. We will all look forward to it on August 28th, Madden NFL 21. Sean Grady, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everyone.
We're mere moments away from the first ever potentially annual IGN Fancy Dress Summer of Gaming Awards. But before we start handing out shiny new trophies, we got to take a quick break, guys. Stick around because we're opening the ceremony with our exclusive look at Kena, Bridge of Spirits, and our award for Best Game announcement. Stay tuned.
IGN Summer of Gaming is brought to you by Fuser, who will be partying with us all summer long.
next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
News, Games, and More is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us on mixer.com/IGN, youtube.com/IGN, and twitch.tv/IGN. See you there.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
This year, for the first time ever, IGN took all the fun of a summer gaming event and brought it online, giving you a front row seat for all the biggest new announcements, trailers, gameplay reveals, and demos without having to leave the house. And while there's plenty of summer left, IGN Summer of Gaming is coming to an end, but not without a proper send-off. Join us for the first ever IGN Summer of Gaming Awards, a chance for us to celebrate all of our favorite game reveals, trailers, and demos from the last month of coverage. And be sure to stick around for the after party with an exclusive gameplay demo of the upcoming music festival DJ rhythm game Fuser, and an hour-long live DJ set from Galantis. So put on your tux, break out the bubbly, and prepare to raise a glass. The first ever IGN Summer of Gaming Awards start right now.
Well, we did it! It's time, and though summer itself continues, we decided that we couldn't wait until August. We are about to round up and honor the standouts of our Summer of Gaming coverage so far. Here to help me are my pals Brian Altano and Sydney Goodman.
Wow.
Thank you, Matt.
What a beautiful building to have an award show that was.
Very beautiful. In real life, there's a Chase Bank there, and I've been there before. It's the real place to visit. But I'm definitely happy to be here and excited to have an excuse to dress nice in quarantine, complete with
Me
my
too.
headsets.
Even though I'm only dressed nice from the waist up, and you can't make me put pants on, guess what I have on down there? It's actually a mermaid's costume.
Brian, well, I'm supposed to say the bottom of this dress is just pajama pants, but it's just a dress. I'm not wearing pants. That would have been bulky.
Oh, it's summer, so I'm wearing a bathing suit because after this I'm going to play in the sprinklers. But the point is that it's fun to have an excuse to partially dress nicely and celebrate something. And celebrating video games is the whole reason that we're doing an award show. And by we, I just don't mean the three of us. The Summer of Games Awards were nominated and voted on and argued about by the entire IGN staff.
And after the award show, stay tuned for our after party featuring a live DJ set by Galantis. You can catch it all everywhere you stream IGN, and use the link in the description below for a chance to join the virtual VIP Zoom room. The Zoom room, I like that. You can have champagne in it if you provide your own champagne.
Yeah, you can also go online and print pictures of champagne and then hold them up and pretend you're drinking it. But seriously, let's start things off with a fresh, exclusive look at Kena Bridge of Spirits. Kena is one of the games revealed at the Sony Future of Gaming event and a perfect introduction to our nominees for Best New Game Reveal of the summer. Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Greer, and this is my brother Mike. We're from Ember Lab. You may have seen our game Kena Bridge of Spirits at the Sony PlayStation 5 event.
Yeah, and today we'd just like to take you through a bit more of the trailer, talk a little bit about the story and the gameplay, and hopefully answer some questions that y'all might be having. So let's get into it.
The opening of the trailer is all about establishing the world and setting the tone. You play as Kena, a spirit guide who's kind of come to an abandoned village, and she soon discovers that there's a lot of trapped and corrupted spirits who are struggling to move on. And we really wanted to set up the challenges and the difficulties Kena's going to be facing as she's trying to help these spirits.
We also wanted to highlight the importance of Kena's staff. It plays a big role in the story, but then also in gameplay. It's the primary tool for combat, so you can use it for melee attacks. It can be converted into a bow, and then also it becomes the power source for your shield.
Exploration is a key part of the game, and we really wanted to make an environment that was immersive. Something that we could hide a lot of lore in, do a lot of storytelling through. But obviously one of the benefits of poking and prodding the environment is finding more of these little rock guys. I think a lot of people are curious about the rot and how they're incorporated into gameplay. And basically you're collecting them as you go. You start off with none and then you grow a team as you go through this adventure. And we really wanted to show in the trailer what it felt like to find one of these little guys and have them join your team.
Yeah, and the Rot have their own sort of suite of abilities, but the one that we highlighted in the trailer is what we call Rot Carry. And you can command them to pick up items and then manipulate where these items are placed in the world.
One of the things we knew we wanted to do was keep the combat fast-paced, and so to that end, the enemies are pretty aggressive.
So another goal was to keep the Rot accessible and at the ready, so it's very easy to send them in to attack enemies or to infuse them into your abilities to make more powerful spectacle attacks. So at the end of the trailer, we wanted to bring it back to these big overarching themes we have of restoration and regrowth. And the Rot are a big part of this cycle. So you see them here in this shot, working with Kena to clear out this pocket of corruption.
This is something you do quite often in the game, but it's a really unique element of exploration because after this layer of corruption has been removed, you can kind of experience new elements of gameplay that have been unlocked.
So hopefully that gives you a little more insight on what to expect from Kena. We're very excited to share more soon.
Yeah, we're targeting a holiday 2020 release, and we'll be out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and the Epic Game Store.
Welcome to the first ever, maybe annual, IGN Summer of Gaming Award Show, our way to celebrate all of the brightest and best games revealed during IGN Summer of Gaming. Let's kick things off with our first award, which might also be our biggest award, the award for Best Game Announcement.
That is right, Damon. And may I say, I think we both look really good today. This is something I'm glad we don't have to do a lot because it's weird. We're indoors. Well, all summer long, we've seen reveals of new content that's coming to existing games and also lots of new hardware reveals. But let's be honest, the most exciting thing about these summer video game events has always been and will forever be the new game reveals. Those huge surprises you had no idea were coming and now you cannot shut up about.
Let's take a look at the nominees for Best Game Announcement.
A hero's just someone who doesn't give up. Your dad said that. He was right. Now it's your turn. Go be a hero, Miles.
spaceship.
We finally get to say,
we're back. We're doing it. Skate's happening. We're rolling. We've secretly got together. It's the beginning. The skate evolution continues.
And the winner for best game announcement is...
Drum roll, please. Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yes.
Congratulations to the entire team at Insomniac for taking home this coveted award. Congratulations to everybody working part of that game. That is amazing.
Congratulations indeed to Spider-Man Miles Morales for being the winner. Best Game Announcement Award, first annual IGN Summer of Gaming, possibly annual. It's the follow-up to one of 2018's most critically acclaimed, best-selling games, and also one of the greatest comic book games ever. It's no surprise that Spider-Man Miles Morales took this award.
That's right, Damon. The PS5 reveal this month was one of the biggest events of the year, if not the generation, the decade, century, millennia, if you will. And not just because it gave us our first look at the PS5 itself, a staggeringly tall, bizarrely futuristic, and very weird-looking next-gen console, but also a reveal of arguably its biggest launch or launch window game, Spider-Man Miles Morales. So let's talk about why this game won the Best New Game Reveal Award, because I think the entire internet blew up the second we saw this trailer for the first time.
Yeah, I think there are a few different reasons why people are so excited for Spider-Man Miles Morales. Sony bought developer Insomniac Games earlier this year, and then there was also a leaked PS5 tech demo that from last year that used the first Spider-Man as a demonstration of PlayStation 5's load times. And there's also Miles Morales, a very popular character, a very cool character. So I think it's the fact that people love the first Spider-Man. They definitely want to play more of that game, even if it's not a full sequel. They want to play as Miles Morales, and this is the game. This is the launch title. This is supposed to be the showcase for PS5's near instant loading times. So when they get their PlayStation 5, this is the game everyone's going to put in, and they're going to be looking to see if they can force their next gen console to show them load times or not.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little torn on that because I will miss the Spider-Man riding the subway scenes that mask the loading times in the first game. But obviously, Insomniac Games are wizards at tech. Just playing the PS4 game, it was hard to look at that game and be like, wow, what is this game missing technically? Because the ability to sort of dash into the air, climb up a building, jump down, and dive kick 5 thugs in the face without hitting the ground was huge. And so on PS5, I imagine the world's gonna be even bigger and more beautiful. One thing I'm really excited about this game specifically, as someone who loved the first game, was I really wanted them to visit New York again. And the only really way to do that and make that fresh is Christmas time, winter time. And so there's gonna be tons of snow on the ground, a lot of sort of winter Christmassy aesthetic, which I love about New York. What I don't love about New York at Christmas is the slush and ice on the ground, but I won't have to worry about that in a video game. So this is going to be a nice way to sort of rectify that.
There was that controversy, and I'm putting controversy in quotes, about how many puddles there were in the final version of the original Spider-Man. The slush puddles will be the equivalent of that in Spider-Man Miles Morales, I'm sure.
Yeah, so make sure you look very closely at this trailer. If you see some slush puddles that don't end up in the final version of the game, let Insomniac know and make a big deal about it.
Yeah, it is interesting though that it's set in New York again. It'll be interesting to see how familiar that map feels, if they're making any changes to it. Or, from the moment that we jump into it, is everyone going to just remember where everything is? We know that it's not a full sequel. It's sort of a standalone expansion, similar to Lost Legacy for Uncharted. So I don't know, Brian, how do you think they're going to handle sending players back to this location they've already explored?
So one of the big things I'm hoping is A, more underground environments, which I know don't really fly well with Spider-Man, but also B, all the outer boroughs. There's all these extended areas around Manhattan that rarely get shown in New York-based video games. And if the PS5 can't render them, then what are we even buying next-gen consoles for? I mean, what's the point?
What
if
are
you
we
can't
even
make Brooklyn, then what are you even doing?
Well, congratulations again to Spider-Man Miles Morales for winning the Best New Game Award. Coming up next, we're giving away the award for Best Trailer. Will your favorite gorgeous, cinematic, or just straight up hype-inducing short film about an upcoming video game win the award? Find out in just a minute or so.
And after you watch that short film collection of other short films, be sure to stick around after our first reveal ever, maybe annual, IGN Summer of Gaming Award show for the official IGN After Party, featuring a live DJ set by Galantis. And you too can be part of the party and literally join via Zoom, and we might feature you as a dance-along at home, or just gently nod your head to the beats while replying to work emails that you've been putting off for days or years or decades. We'll be right back after this quick break.
IGN Summer of Gaming is brought to you by Fuser, who'll be partying with us all summer long.
A clear white many images on the streets trying to consume some search for the eat so I can get some phones rolling in my
News, games, and more is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent, going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us on mixer.com/IGN, youtube.com/IGN, and twitch.tv/IGN. See you there.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Video games are an inherently complex form of entertainment. A game can be a massive, sprawling, hyper-realistic virtual world with a story that unfolds over dozens of hours, or it can be a free phone app where you pop bubbles and earn candies and points. So game trailers serve an important purpose.
That's right, Max. Famed film critic Roger Ebert once said, "The best game trailers give us an idea of what a game is about, where it takes place, the kind of characters who exist there, and most importantly, what we, the players, will be doing in this video game world." No, just kidding, we wrote that.
Yeah. Of course, plenty of trailers are just 2 minutes of pre-rendered CGI and then a logo that leave us with more questions than we had to begin with. But even then, they still get us hyped.
And that's really what it's all about. Roger Ebert loved to get hyped. Now, here are the nominees for Best Trailer.
This mission is mine alone. If I falter, if I fail, there won't be anyone left to stop what's coming.
And the winner for best trailer is
La La Land.
No,
it's
not again.
Deathloop, ladies and gentlemen, Deathloop. Give it up for Deathloop.
Yeah, so this is awesome. This is Deathloop, the latest from Arcane, the studio that gave us Dishonored and the most recent Prey. Incredibly slick trailer, very cool.
Yeah, the best trailer category is a very juicy category to win in. And so obviously this is a very, very big win. So congrats to the whole team at Arcane. Max, why do you think this game specifically took the top spot with the IGN staff and all who voted?
Well, I mean, Arcane's sort of reputation as a studio kind of speaks for itself. It gives us a little bit of a glimpse of the gameplay, which looks sort of like the familiar, kind of supernatural traversal you see in something like Dishonored. But the entire aesthetic for the game is very exciting. It's a totally new world that we're looking at here. Now, the key thing here is apparently you play as an assassin who's stuck in a time loop on an island called Black Reef. And everyone on the island is there to try to kill you. And if you die, you got to go back and do it all over again. And there is, in fact, a very cool multiplayer component, which sounds fascinating.
Yeah, the entire premise of this game is phenomenal, and the trailer specifically showed, I think, some of the best aesthetics and art style of anything we saw out of the entire lineup. No disrespect to Bugsnax. And one of the big things here is the sort of 1960s sci-fi approach with some touches of Grindhouse, but also I really like the sort of paleofuturism of these kind of insane weapons that obviously didn't exist back then, but are being brought to life now. This is a team with like a great history of phenomenal art direction, really fantastic verticality in their games, great gunplay. So I'm really happy to see this thing come together. I think it's really all about style. That's how you define yourself in a first-person shooter world these days. It's like you come up with something that looks different than everybody else, and I think Arcane's totally nailing it here.
They did a really good job, too, of kind of balancing, showing off the game in action, which is what people obviously want to see, but also giving us this wonderfully slick trailer that's kind of clearly taking some cues from, exploitation films and the kind of the production design of Saul Bass, who did like the old Hitchcock title sequences and early James Bond. So it really manages to kind of pair, like, here's the kind of core aesthetic with, like, here's what the game actually looks like in action. And, fact of the matter is it doesn't look like anything else out there. So good stuff.
Yeah, I'm really into the concept of this being played entirely as a single-player game too. I am happy that there are multiplayer modes as well, because I know that that's the best way to get a use out of this entire engine and premise. But as a single-player game, the idea of sort of like hunting down numerous people, I'm into it.
So hold on, are you well versed? The multiplayer in this is basically like a Souls-like. So there's another assassin called Juliana who will come into your game. It's sort of like another person can just invade your single-player game. And if you want to play it entirely single-player, like, you can, and that character will be played by AI, but like I love that kind of like you could just, you're like, oh, I'm going around playing my single player experience, and then lo and behold, some actual person from the other side of the internet just shows up to try to kick your ass. That's just like,
I was actually thinking I might have a friend go into the settings at the beginning and not tell me whether or not they turn that on, and so I'll never actually know if it's like humans invading my game or deathly robots that grew up in the machine. It could go either way, but either way, I'm ready to kill rival assassins in a time loop.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I'm dying to know more about this. This is slated for sometime later this year, I think. It's coming to PS5 and PC that we know about currently. I want to see what Arcane does with next-gen hardware. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we're finally at the point where we're getting actually some concrete understanding of what next-gen consoles will be capable of doing. Obviously, they're beefed-up high-end PCs, but still, it's good to know that people are working on them, and especially teams like Arcane, who have been making fantastic games for a very long time now.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. And now I think we're going to welcome Damon back to the stage for our next category, which I will also be a part of. Brian,
we have a stage?
It's really not a stage. It's like it's like an awkward phone call. Anyway, Thanks for hanging out, Brian. I'll see you in a little bit, I guess.
I didn't get a stage.
Hey, Damon.
Hi, I do call the hallway in between bedrooms in my apartment a stage. Trailers are cool, but gameplay is where it's at. Getting hands-on this year was a little tricky, but we were happy to see some games in action, even if they were unfinished builds with someone else driving.
Here are the nominees for the best gameplay demos. Any minute now.
Here they are.
We have them, I swear. Just
here they.
A unified squadron is the key to victory.
Making my attack run now.
Let's make this count.
And the winner for best gameplay demo, as voted on by all the IGN staff who opened the email about voting for the Summer of Gaming Awards, is
Cyberpunk 2077. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Like, this is it. This is, I think, the most highly anticipated game of the year. A game 8 years in the making from the developers of The Witcher 3, one of the most incredible games of the generation. Everyone, all the Xbox players are excited for Halo Infinite. PlayStation gamers are excited for Spider-Man and Miles Morales, but Cyberpunk 27 is going to be there right around the launch of next-gen consoles, and everybody's going to get to play. So I wasn't too surprised that this won best gameplay presentation at Summer of Gaming. Max, I know you've been following Cyberpunk. You're a fan of the pen and paper game. What are you excited about Cyberpunk coming out of the Night City Wire presentation?
So I was expecting a lot of branching paths and multiple endings and sort of different outcomes based on what you choose to do. What I wasn't expecting was the entire idea of this game having multiple beginnings, which is kind of, I think, the most exciting and daunting sort of piece of info to come out of this presentation. Basically, like when you're creating a character, there's always that amount of sort of buyer's remorse of like what kind of how cool do you want your character to be, like what kind of voice do you want them to have, what tattoos, no piercings, or do you want to play like a goofy character or whatever. In this case, you have to pick your character's life path, and depending on which of, I think, the 3 life paths you pick, that starts you off in an entirely different section of the world and effectively unrolls an entirely different bunch of quest lines and options. So, this is a game meant to be played multiple times over, and they're well aware of that.
Yeah, so those 3 sort of starting launch pads, life pads, there's a nomad who starts outside of Night City. There's a sort of a street punk that's down at street level in the city, and then there's the corporate who's like an executive working in one of the skyscrapers. Max, have you thought about which one you want to start as?
Oh, it's tough, but I think I got to go with Street Kid. I mean, after all, this is first and foremost a cyberpunk game. This is not like a cyber businessman or cyber Mad Max game. This is like, you got to go with like the proper, street level.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. I'm actually thinking about the corporate role, maybe, just because I figure if you're going to be like in a ruthless, cutthroat city like this, you may as well have a bit of an advantage, have to have a little cash in your pocket, maybe have a nice apartment. I don't know. We'll find out. Both Ryan McCaffrey and Miranda Sanchez of IGN got to play Cyberpunk for 4 hours each. Both experience completely different things. It's just the prologue that they're making their way through. So this game is going to be gigantic. Most importantly, neither of them made it to Keanu. So the time to Keanu, the TTK in Cyberpunk is at least 4 hours in this game.
That's exciting. I think also, like, we're celebrating the fact that CDPR was able to show off a bunch of new gameplay, which got us all very excited. But the fact that they were able to sort of scramble and line up remote demo sessions to actually get people hands-on with this game without having their hands physically on it, because that's a gross, germy thing to be doing in 2020. And I think we're going to see more of that. We're going to see more companies kind of pivot to figure out how you can get people playing games, because, again, that's how you understand what a game is like, is actually playing it yourself. And that's historically what summertime events and trade shows are for. It's to try to get people to actually play the game. So, good on them for showing off a chunk of gameplay, but even better for lining up some preview time.
Absolutely. They showed off a new gameplay feature for Cyberpunk 2077 called Brain Dance that appears to let you replay someone else's memories. And I don't think you can change the outcome because you're just watching a replay, but it's kind of like a scene editor where you can move the camera around and sort of really get a grasp of what happened in that scene, maybe find out who killed the person whose memories you're looking at. What did you think of that new feature, Max?
I think it's very exciting. It's very cool. It feels like it has almost sort of tones of like point and click adventure DNA to it, like of being able to look around an environment and sort of, uncover some details and solve some puzzles. But even better, it's like this is a game where you're going to be fully investing in your own character that you create. But this is a cool way to sort of experience the sort of stories of some other Night City denizens. It also is like, it's extremely cyberpunk. This is the kind of thing that gets kicked around in William Gibson stories. This is a central plot point for the movie Strange Days. It's very like, I like that they gamified a cyberpunk concept and really just made it part of the game in a way that is it's not just, we've seen a lot of the game of just jumping around and shooting people and having conversations, and this is something completely unconventional that we haven't seen. So it's nice to see that level of creativity.
Yeah, Cyberpunk should be there right around the launch of next-gen consoles, since it's been delayed back to November. Max, do you think you're gonna try and play it on PlayStation 5?
I think so, unless they come out and they're just like, "Hey, it's gonna, it's even more Cyberpunk on Series X." I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet, but
well, we have to wait until November 19th to actually get our hands on the game. I can't wait. Right now, here to present our next award are Brian and Sid. Take it away.
Thanks, boys. Now, as much as we love strange new ideas and the element of surprise, it's also nice to see a familiar and beloved game franchise resurface with a new installment.
Sometimes that means a sequel we've been waiting ages for. Other times that means a complete remake of a classic game we fondly remember from our childhood.
I love to classically remember my fond childhood. Either way, here are the nominees for the best comeback.
Ratchet. We are too late. Ratchet?
Who?
We've been waiting years, honestly, to make the right game at the right time with the right idea, and really, really pleased to say that we're here. It is really early, but it takes a little while to find Cuz or wake him up.
Dude, harsh.
It's payback time! I see him! Over there!
Who am I?
And the winner for Best Comeback is...
Pokemon Snap! All right.
All right. Oh, are we clapping? I don't
Yeah,
want to clap too
I
loud.
mean, you should
I'm
be
clapping
clapping
really
for the
loud
award.
though, but I'm doing like a soft clap. Well, I don't want to hurt people's ears.
That's
Pokemon Snap is our winner, even in the face of a new Skate and a new Ratchet and Clank. And I know you're not supposed to say, well, are you supposed to say who you vote for? I don't think you're supposed to, but I voted for Pokemon Snap, and I didn't think it was going to win.
I think it's okay if you say that. The awards are already in. Hopefully this evolution of the original on-rails photography shooter won't disappoint. I don't think it will at all. Sydney, why do you think folks are so excited for this one, since you skewed the entire voting process by voting for this one and then admitting that crime?
So I've actually been waiting for this for years, and I even made a PowerPoint presentation for our PAX panel last year where yes, I did. Oh wait, here it is. Look, I made it. And it's just about how much I love Pokemon Snap and that I would play it in any form as long as it was on Switch, and I just want it so bad. So yeah, I really want Pokemon Snap. Did you play? Are you like big Pokemon Snap?
Yeah, I love this game, but I just want to point out that you wrote super chill as one of your bullet points in your presentation here. I also think that this is probably the result of this is because they don't want fans like you stalking them anymore. That could be a big part of it. I think that's a very weird and borderline obsessive thing to do. But either way, I'm excited for this game because 2020 has been sort of a quiet year for Nintendo Switch in general, especially on the first party front. But between this and Animal Crossing and Paper Mario, it's really starting to shape up. And I think plenty of surprises are still around the corner. But I think that this game particularly has potential to be a budget price game, since the original was sort of like smaller scaled. Like you couldn't just spend, sell this thing for $60, or maybe you could. So I'm hoping for like a $30 or $40 game, since it isn't actually like a full-blown Pokemon RPG, but it's still incredibly beloved,
Huh, interesting. Maybe less expensive game, I'm not mad, but also like, I really hope that it's a full game in terms of like giving us expanded levels, because the first game was relatively small. So I think that I'd be really happy if they gave us like expanded levels versus, you know, giving us something pretty small and $30. Like I would pay $60 for a full built out game of this. But I agree that since it's not an RPG, maybe audiences are expecting a lower price point.
Yeah, I mean, knowing you, you'd probably pay $200 for it. But I think specifically it'd be cool if we get some new puzzle mechanics. There's the whole sort of concept of the Nintendo Switch having an accelerometer, which could potentially help for taking photography in games like this. I'm a huge fan of photo mode in games. That's actually something I've been like totally sinking time in over the last few years. And photography is something now that I think even the most casual phone owner partakes in some capacity. And you couple that with the fact that, you know, Pokemon Go is one of the most sort of exciting, popular things on Earth. It completely rekindled Pokemania for a lot of people. This is obviously a game that I think is going to connect with a lot of people. And it's also like, it's such a chill game. You put that in your PowerPoint presentation, but it's true. It is a very chill game. It's laid back. It's relaxing. I think we need that this year. Nintendo obviously made a ton of money selling Animal Crossing because that's what people are looking for right now. You know, like we just want to relax and take pictures of Garbodor, the best Pokemon, a garbage bag with cigarettes in it.
I still can't believe it. I love Pokemon, but they are getting a little they're getting very creative with their Pokemon. My favorite though is in the original on the river level, I think it is. There's the Shelter that come up and they go meh, and they kind of spin, and I quote that all the time and no one ever knows what I'm talking about.
Now's your time to shine.
Now is my time.
This is your year.
This is my year. When do you think this is coming out? They didn't give us a release date.
It's available right now. No, it's not.
It's not.
That would be cool. No, but I imagine pretty soon, because if you look at the way they did Paper Mario, they basically said, "Hey, here's this game," and within a couple of weeks, it's you know, we're already just a few weeks away from it. And so I think they've been really good about this year, and this is obviously one of the biggest surprises and the biggest comebacks of any game this year. All right, well, we will be right back with the award for Best Overall Moment. And no, that's not about pants. And following the ceremony, our after party featuring DJ Galantis that you can take part of. How, you ask? It's in the description below, and you just have to scroll down and read it. It's a lot of work, but I believe in you. We will be right back.
IGN Summer of Gaming is brought to you by Fuser, who'll be partying with us all summer long.
News, Games, and More is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us on mixer.com/IGN, youtube.com/IGN, and twitch.tv/IGN. See you there.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games getting completely wrecked? That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to Speedruns.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game it took years of their life to create. Join us every Saturday for a new episode.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode.
Welcome back. If you're just now joining us, you were extremely late and you missed out on a lot of fun. But on the bright side, there's plenty more where that came from. That rhymed.
Yes, it did. I liked it. Still to come, we've got an exclusive gameplay demo from the DJ Rhythm game Fuser, followed by our Summer of Gaming after party with a live hour-long DJ set from Galantis. I can't wait.
But right now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The award for Best Cat of Summer of Gaming. This year, there was only one nominee, Same. So Same is the winner. Congratulations, Same. Do you have anything to say? Meow. Okay, well, we can tell you're just stunned. You're stunned that you won this prestigious award. Congratulations, Same. Go back to your litter box. Okay, and now it's time for the award for the best overall moment. Here are the nominees.
We finally get to say,
we're back. We're doing it. Skate's happening. We're rolling. We've secretly got together. It's the beginning. The skate evolution continues. We cannot believe you commented this into existence. Amazing. Skate changed my life. Thank you so much. Skate forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that was beautiful. Now, the winner for Best Overall Moment, as voted by IGN staff, is... Damon, take it away. Wait for it. Wait. It's coming, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry, we got a special announcement.
The PlayStation 5 console reveal.
Woo!
Yes.
Not a surprise.
Yes.
Not a surprise at all, at least to me.
No, yeah, not too much of a shocker. The PlayStation 5 console reveal is officially our biggest moment of the summer. Whether or not you like the design, there's no question Sony was able to make a meal of that moment for the reveal.
Definitely, but the physical console itself isn't the only reason Sony took this category. I mean, like the PS4 was dominated last generation, so anticipation was high for this particular reveal.
Oh, for sure. The PlayStation 4 is the second best-selling home console of all time, over 110 million units sold. The PS2 is the only one that sold more than that. We're also joined by Max and Sydney to share in our excitement for the reveal of the PlayStation 5 console. Max, you spent a lot of time on a PlayStation podcast. What was your big sort of takeaway moment from the reveal?
Well, I'm terrifically biased on the matter because, like you said, I'm on Podcast Beyond every week. But I think just on a personal like just giving us something to talk about level, I love this weird design. I don't think I would have predicted in a million years that it would have been this out there in this space age. And I'm sure it's been divisive for a lot of people, but at the very least, it's something more interesting to look at and talk about than just a big old rectangle. So, yeah, the future is here, and it's freaking weird looking.
Sydney, what do you make of the design?
Well, okay, let me just say I'm so sorry if my cat's purring is getting picked up by the mic. He just jumped on me right before we went here, so apologies if you can hear my very happy cat. But in terms of design, I was pleasantly surprised, to echo what Max was saying in terms of having something that wasn't just a black box. However, I have been very vocal about the fact that in practice, or in theory it's great, but in practice I don't really understand how it's going to look under my TV, and it's so tall that it won't fit in my media cabinet. But that does not diminish how, what a reveal that was. And I mean, seeing it and knowing that it's coming, you can't deny that that's really exciting.
Yeah, Sony was quiet for a long time on the PlayStation 5, just sort of doling out little bits of information here and there, but they're holding back the reveal of the console much longer than Microsoft did. So, expectations and excitement was just super, super high for this. And I think everyone came out of that reveal feeling really excited, Sony kind of knocked it out of the park. Akeem, would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. I there was a bit when we were looking at the reveal trailer, I wasn't sure the direction that they were going with it, because it was a big black rectangle as well, with a bunch of little orbs that were pulsating blue. So I was like, wait a minute, it's just going to be like a variant of the Xbox Series X, but then we go inside the black void, and then we emerge and we see this thing that looks like a building in Dubai, which I mean, look, they went from gray with PlayStation 1, they went then black, and then shiny black, and then what, black again. So I don't know, I'm very happy with this design. I know it looks weird, but I like it.
Yeah, and there are two models. That was a surprise for me. There's the all digital edition. Max, were you surprised by that?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense though. Now I'm just really curious to see what Microsoft does to follow that up, because if they come out with a little cutesy Series S like we're hearing rumors about, that would be kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, I think Ryan McCaffrey made an interesting point that if for people who are going to be buying both consoles, you probably only need one HD Blu-ray player. But no, there's also I think there's a lot going on with this that we haven't even heard about yet. We've heard a lot of rumblings, no pun intended, about the haptic feedback on the controller, which has been completely overhauled. The fact that the share button is now a create button is interesting. There's all the buzz about the hard drive being crazy fast and how that's going to revolutionize the way we play or whatever. And I'm just I want to see that in action. I want to find out more.
Yeah, the whole announcement reveal had lots of information on it. They revealed the console, they revealed the two different models, revealed a big launch exclusive in Spider-Man Miles Morales. Sydney, what are you sort of expecting or hoping Microsoft has to counter all of that starting next month?
Well, starting next month, we know that we're going to hear about the first-party releases, which Halo, very, very excited about it. But beyond that, I felt like what I loved about the PlayStation reveal was it felt very true to form of an E3 press conference, and it felt like there was a lot more pomp and circumstance. And it's funny because I'm contradicting myself, because when Xbox did the first Xbox 2020, I applauded how it didn't feel overproduced. But now that I've seen PlayStation do this big reveal and it was this long show and it made me really excited, I kind of hope that we get that.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that, Sid. I think the timing on Microsoft's event was fun because we had basically all just gone into quarantine, and seeing executives calling in from their living rooms was cute. We're doing it today, but I think for a lot of people, they wanted something big, and it really looked like Sony just, they upped the production value and everything, and they made that reveal look really, really special. And I think it matched with the tone and the sort of consistency of how futuristic the console itself looked. The quality across the board for that thing was just gorgeous, and yeah, it set the bar. And now I can't wait to see what Microsoft does next, because we're just getting started.
Yes. So congratulations to Sony and the PlayStation team, PlayStation 5 reveal, winning best moment of IGN Summer of Gaming. We know all of the IGN audience out there is super excited for this console. Akeem, what's happening next?
Well, I do believe we're going to have a DJ set from Galantis, which I'm super duper excited about. So just stick around for that.
That's right. Yeah,
We will.
Coming up, we have a big after party. Max and I will be playing Fuser, or we have played Fuser, but we have an exclusive look at the game first. Max and I did get to play it a few days ago. We did an awesome Let's Play. We made fools of ourselves and had a great time. So we got to decide who was the real DJ of the bunch and make a whole party. Hopefully Akeem knows more about music than Max did, because Akeem's playing it, and Max, you were just not. It's just, I know this is an award show, and we're trying to be nice. It was not. It was not good.
I think
you're not good.
You're selling Fuser short by saying it's about the music. It's more to it. It's about the entire festival experience, which includes your funny costume and your cool name and what kind of balloons are flying around in the crowd at your festival. So.
Right, and you know what? I will always maintain that the most important part of music is the music itself, and the secondary is the hot dogs, probably. That's just me personally. I guess that's why they don't put a lot of hot dog stuff in music games. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Fuser will prove us all wrong.
Well,
I guess
Brian,
we'll find out soon.
Brian, it's also the aesthetic. It's also how you look. Just to let you know. So when we come back, I'm gonna do a little Fuser DJing before Galantis takes the stage. So we'll see you next summer.
What?
IGN Summer of Gaming is brought to you by Fuser, who will be partying with us all summer long.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games getting completely wrecked? That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to Speedruns.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game it took years of their life to create. Join us every Saturday for a new episode.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode.
News, games, and more is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us on mixer.com/IGN, youtube.com/IGN, and twitch.tv/IGN. See you there.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the IGN Summer of Gaming 2020 After Party presented by Fuser. Now, all summer long, we have been rounding up brand spanking new gameplay, next-gen first looks, and we got the developers to unpack the secrets behind their latest projects exclusively right here on IGN.